God. We are only less than a week away. Less than a week, and Christmas is coming. And oh, I shouldn't have started with that. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Sorry. I do apologize right off the bat here.
Take two, everybody.
No, no, not take two. Just give me a second here. I just gotta take it. Well, let me go ahead and start off here right off the bat. Yes, this is the Brony Show. I am your host, as always, Circuit Main. However, this is going to be a little bit more unorthodox of a Brony Show. I'm not sure if I'm going to be giving it an official numbering yet at the moment. That's how crazy it is. Unfortunately, today, well, last couple of days have not exactly been all that well for me. Starting off with like random punctuated headaches that were beginning over the weekend that have followed me into today. Along with that, unfortunately, my stomach is doing some really interesting things. Doesn't help that I had dinner too. I had dinner because I was hoping that it would just mean I was hungry and not something else. It might be something else because when I was starting off on that tirade, now I'm having to focus a little bit in order to not do something horrible. So right off the bat, I'm going to apologize if the stream is a little bit off kilter. We are pretty much going to be doing this by the seat of our pants.
Mostly him.
Yes. Also, along with that, unfortunately, there is also the possibility that if things get worse, I may have to end up deciding to switch things up a bit. So if it ends up things end up getting worse, we may have to cut the stream short for the evening, which I do apologize if that ends up being the case, and I will be trying to avoid that at all costs. So while I'm busy getting everything up here, I would like to welcome everybody to the Brony Show. We are less than a week away from Christmas, the one magical time of the year before we can finally say goodbye to 2016, and in some people's cases, good riddance, and hope that the next year will bring something. Sorry, and hopefully. It's been a year. Let's face it, it's been a year. But yeah, we say goodbye to 2016 and hope for bigger, better, and more wonderful in 2017. Of course, first things first, let's go ahead and introduce who we do have here for the early part. For the show itself. First, I would like to welcome Blanked Mind, of course.
Hello, peoples. I'm playing Bloodborne. So if you hear any random screaming, that's why.
Alright. And along with that, we also have from the Otaku Ascended, Suki himself.
Oh, I'm hopped up on like NyQuil and stuff, so
Yeah, unfortunately, Suki is also not feeling the Christmas spirit in a whole nother way too.
so So I might pass out.
And if he does, we will miss him. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep things rolling. But we are good. But in any case, we do have also a cast of familiars. Let's start off with our head editor and a really awesome person of Gaming Meltdown on Saturdays, Creature.
The creature feature.
And apparently, he may be muted.
I hit the unmute button and it didn't unmute. I just came in, sat down. I don't even know where I am anymore.
Your mute button broke.
We basically introduced you.
Yeah, and I said hello.
Okay then.
Walked in like a hobo and began eating your cookies.
Alright. And we also have joining us the familiar faces of Silent Blast.
Hello.
And our random robot Toa. Apparently incredibly random.
Being a robot.
It's fucking died!
Yeah, our resident robot is currently glitching out, so...
Yeah, just spare him some of the bits and bytes there. Unfortunately, Toa's system has bit the bullet, so right now he's using an all-in-one laptop. Heaven help him.
We're working on fixing him, but it may take a while.
Yeah. So yeah, Toa is gonna.
And it broke.
So basically, Toa is going to be early 2000 YouTube at this point.
Wouldn't you mean AOL?
Yes, that too. But in any case, of course, we're here to bring you what we can of the Brony community. I can't say everything new because I haven't had a chance to even work on show notes. I wasn't even sure that anything was going to be happening today, to be honest. I'm still trying to keep things together, but I honestly didn't have a chance to really focus working on show notes, things like that. So we are instead going to be going at this completely random. This is basically going to be more insane than the pre-show and the after-party combined with no script. So we apologize if this ends up being a royal goose egg.
Oh, is that what these papers were?
Yes.
Just go ahead and put those in the furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Fucking hell.
of course, let's go ahead and just warm up our vocal cords and give ourselves a little bit of pat on the back and Christmas cheer with what we always do. Talk about our daily lives with What's Up Bronies. So, what's up, Bronies?
So far, I've been doing great. Although my
Still-
kitchen is
still
not
job
fucking
hunting.
finished.
What happened with that?
Oh no! The contractor wanted to screw us over and not try to fucking finish the job.
So he's being a contractor.
Yeah.
As
What?
always.
That actually reminds me of what my electrician did, but that's another story for another day.
I know that story.
Yeah. If no one else wants to pipe up, I'll say what's been going on.
Yeah, go for it. Anybody and everybody's welcome to jump in at any point.
I got fucked over by a furniture company.
Oh, please tell us. I am dying to
Okay.
hear.
Okay, so I'm sure many people know of the store Ashley's Furniture Home Store. Yes?
I know of it.
Have that
Okay.
in mind.
I don't
Yeah.
got one of those.
Oh, they're nationwide, but apparently not.
They're nationwide, but not on your
And-
side.
Anyway, so I went in there Black Friday, got some side tables and a coffee table to finish my living room. They said it would be delivered on the 17th, which was 2 days ago. They said between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Okay, I'm sitting around, and I wait until 2 a.m. before I say, fuck it, they're not coming. I go in there Sunday morning, and demand a refund. They only allow refunds 48 hours after purchase. Then they want me to buy something else with the credit I already put toward it, not including the discounts. Their excuse of why it wasn't delivered? The item was on back order for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And they weren't even notified, nor was I notified, that my delivery day got canceled the day before.
What in the flying?
When the day before that, they confirmed my delivery date.
That's wow. That's a whole another level of messed up
That
right
is
there.
assholing in the 2 degree.
Yeah, I
Sheesh.
had a really fun conversation with the manager and how they conduct business. And they said they were going to go into investigation about it. I highly doubt that. So the only really thing I could do at this point was reschedule the delivery date. So I'm hoping it actually comes in this time. If not, I'm taking it to court.
Take a court, Better Business Bureau or something.
All of the
This isn't an isolated problem. Like, several people are having this problem from this company
yeah.
for a long time.
There's a reason I deal with Swedish manufacturers and build my own furniture.
Yeah.
You mean with the missing screws?
Actually, I haven't had a single problem with the IKEA furniture I bought. In fact, it's some of the best shelving I've ever had.
But I'll give the Swedes this. They do have some comfy ass pillows. And it actually helped my back. So I can actually fucking stand straight for once in 20 years.
I'm trying really, really hard not to make a really bad joke right now. Oh, you know what? Screw it. No, not that joke. So they got some Swedish pillows that are really comfy.
No,
They must be some sweet ass pillows.
Boo.
it's like I got where he was going. Like you son of a bitch. I'd come in there and hit you, but you're sick,
Yay! Sickness has saved me.
and I'm not that cool of an individual.
Oh, he'll hit you later when you're not.
I might.
All right, all
I
right.
might forget too.
He's having a quota.
So
Alright.
you made me sick through your bad puns.
shut up, you
You think that was bad? I actually post on a Brony message board in the mornings here and there. Over at a Ponyville. There's a message image board called Ponyville that I frequent in the morning. I actually got into a tree pun war with another person that in the morning until my work decided, hey, you know what? It's time for you to suffer. Which is pretty much every morning, but still.
While still being sick.
Yeah. But yeah, we ended up going all the way from trees, leaves, fruits, vegetables. It was insane, but kind of fun. Anyway, does anybody else want to chime in on what's going on in their weekly lives?
Let's see. As a thing for this household, we both beat FF15, thank God. Both giving the
Yeah.
game a fucking break. I'm playing the DLC that Creature so graciously got me for my birthday. Thank you very
And
much,
I'm
Creature.
going
Welcome.
completely nuts on Super Dragon Ball right now.
Oh yeah, I found it didn't take long before the veil dropped. Apparently, Dead Rising 4 has a true ending locked behind DLC.
Of course
Are
he
you
does.
really? Didn't Capcom learn
Hey,
after?
hey, think about this, Mike. Yeah, with you. Just imagine Mike. He is pissed off.
I'm surprised he isn't in it. You know what? I'm getting really annoyed so far that I've just been royally disappointed in the games in the last 30 minutes. First, I hear about a PlayStation game that's supposed to be really pretty good, but apparently they have freemium up the wazoo. Then I hear about paid content behind DLC specs. I'm starting to. It's no wonder why I'm paying for these really exotic, weird games from Nippon Ichi and playing those because I. No, wait, no. Even those have DLC. They have usually about $50 worth of character DLC. And what in the world is
No,
Paw
you didn't
Patrol?
finish the game.
Paw Patrol is a little kid anime show about these freaking dogs that are emergency responders.
Oh wait, I think I saw some toys of those over at like Walmart or something.
I had
Wow.
to stock their backpacks every
I know, I
freaking
know.
day at Target.
Mm.
Oh, there's my favorite Let's Players is starting to do a stream.
Ooh,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move on here a little bit. Rant aside, anybody else have any what's up, Brony, going on with them?
This year sucks.
I'm starting to agree.
Yeah, I have to wait a little bit to want to at least have the data transfer so I knows everything on it. Until then, I'm on a notebook that's about 2 or 3 years old.
Jeez, no wonder we can barely fucking hear you.
Yeah, an all-in-one notebook that.
Damn it!
Don't worry, we believe in you, Toa. Hold in there. All right. Well, I guess I'll jump in a little bit and what's up, Brony, going on with me.
Bless you, fuck.
Yeah. Well, kind of a preliminary. Well, a few things. Let's see here. Over the weekend, I did manage to pull off a few things. First off, I got to see Star Wars Rogue One. I got it to see it for free too. That was awesome. Yeah, but yeah, I went.
Lucky son of a gun. I'm going to see it Wednesday, but I know how it ends. I expected it would end that way.
Yeah, most people would, but I got to admit the story was good, but it was really melancholy. And the sad part, along with that, the day after I beat Final Fantasy 15, that ending was melancholy. I just get like really happy but sad moments all over the damn place over the weekend. It's like, really? Can't I have
Circuit
something
does-
that's nice and happy and wonderful and flowery and puppies and kittens and
No.
No,
But does it bring back the memories of the 90s?
no? It doesn't. The 90s, you had some muscle-bound hero that blew everything up, and he would win with a dog in his arm and a girl in the other going, "That's right, I just blew the house down, baby."
Not in the RPG, not in the Asian RPG sections.
No, in Final Fantasy maybe, but the other ones you didn't have everybody dying left and right. Well, no, Lufia you also did too.
All right.
I know that's not how things work. It's just, sometimes I just want a full-on happy ending, damn it.
I've not beaten the game yet. I'm trying to work on it.
Sorry, I'm trying my best not to reveal anything. In all honesty,
Honestly, for everything that happens in the game, it is a happy ending to
if
me.
15
ultimately it kind of is a happy ending, but it is a kind of a happy ending, but at the same time, it's just one of those where what was it that actually, I'm not gonna say anything.
And from what I've seen, I had
If you-
flashbacks.
I've heard
before.
I've heard tales of manly tears. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, well, see you guys.
See you guys.
Because if I'm gonna watch this stream of one of my favorite Let's Players, either I'm gonna mute myself or it's just better to leave for a bit.
Touche.
Okay.
All right. So, anybody else have any other "What's up, Brony" going on with them?
Other than I had to deal with ransomware on my mom's computer now.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
All right then. I guess we'll go ahead and get into the nit and grit of it. Now, originally our topic was going to be Brony Christmas images. Basically, we're going to scour the internet, look for some of the fun and interesting Christmas images that are out there, and talk a little bit about them. Of course, along with that, I managed to find a rather interesting thing that I think may actually be a good springboard just for a general fun topic and also to keep with the Christmas spirit. One of the images I managed to find was an Advent Day movie Brony calendar that is being done by Brony by Exception over on DeviantArt. So apparently the whole idea of this advent calendar is every single day he releases an image with a movie that he considers to be a one of his Christmas movies that he watches or he enjoys or something along those lines. And and basically get a little bit of column A, column B, a Christmas movie, a Christmas image, and ponies. Perfect combination of everything. So I figured, why not take a hold of this and run with it a little bit. So here we have the Pony Advent Calendar, and I figured we could also talk a little bit about the movie itself, if we've ever seen it, and our thoughts, and then afterwards maybe even talk about some of our favorite Christmas movies that are out there for people to watch. So a little column A, column B, and column whatever I can think of. G. It's column G.
Yeah.
And of course, and before I forget though, after we talk about the movies, and if we have enough time, we are going to actually bring up some more Christmas images and talk about some artwork. Of course, if you guys have any that you want to post out there, because I literally only have about 3 or 4, and I will be grabbing these as quickly as possible from a few random sources, feel free to post them in chat room at that time. Please do not post them now because I will not be able to get them now. Please post them in chat room when we call for them. So get your bookmarks ready. Get your links ready. Do not post them yet, please. I know I'm emphasizing this a lot, but unfortunately chat rooms tend to have a track record of not exactly listening sometimes.
I was
No.
actually about to.
Flies off his zealous.
Yeah. little overzealousness, which I love you guys for, but at the same time, give it a breather. So, starting off with day number 1, How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. And of course, the comic here, the little image here makes a joke of Sweetie Belle asking, "Is this intended as a statement on the blatant commercialization of Christmas by heartless corporations?" And of course, Discord replies back, "No, I think I'm mostly just kind of a jerk." I will give it to him. You know, Dr. Seuss sometimes has some really interesting hidden messages or deeper meanings behind his stories. Of course, those of you who don't know How the Grinch Stole Christmas, how in the world did you manage to survive under the rock you've been under for so long? Okay, maybe that's a little mean-spirited. But
the original cartoon, I had it on VHS.
But you know what? I'll go ahead. I'll be a little bit generous about it instead of being immediately like, "Who in the world are you to not know that?" No, sorry. So yeah, How the Grinch Stole Christmas is a story of a green goblin that lives in a snowflake that lives on in a mountain, and on the valley of the mountain is a bunch of little puppy weird faced people called Whovians. Of course, he hates Christmas because he is that.
Not to be confused, Doctor fans.
No, definitely not to be confused with him. Of course, he doesn't like Christmas because of all the noise and the gifts and the lights and the food. And just how they're all having so much fun, and he's standing there in the cold snow growling at him because, let's face it, he's just one of those internet trolls that doesn't like it when people are having fun and he is not. So he decides that unlike internet trolls and just posting mean comments, he's actually going to do something about it. And dresses up as Santa Claus to go into Whoville at night and steal all the presents. Does he succeed? No. Is the message heartwarming? Yes. Are there 2 different movies, one cartoon that is cherished and one live action which is either hated or is still enjoyed? Yes.
I enjoy it.
So yeah, there are 2 different versions of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I like live action.
Yes. First off, the cartoon one is pretty much shot by shot of exactly how the book is. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's 25-30 minutes long. It's done with a very good narrator. Some of the animation is reused over and over, but it still has some of the best songs, including "You're a Foul One, Mr. Grinch. You got termites in your smile." Anyway. But, of course, along with that, we also have a live-action version of the, actually, I think it's actually the Seuss trilogy, if I think about it. Was it just, Cat in the Hat, Grinch, and Lorax right now?
There was Horton Hears a Who as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not the trilogy. Okay, but, yeah. So, yeah, well, technically it wasn't, well, no, Lorax was animated too, so, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, but yeah, a lot of Dr. Seuss had a few of his books made into the big screen. Well, unfortunately, all of them kind of suck. But personally, I actually really enjoyed the live action of How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. I thought it was awesome and hilarious. Well, it had some hilarious moments anyway, and Jim Carrey he's being Jim Carrey, but being Jim Carrey as the Grinch, it just fits really well, and I kind of like it.
It's entertaining.
The live action was always kind of good, except for the actual story. Everything else, it kind of works.
The Angel story?
Oh, the
Origin!
Jim Carrey.
The what?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The story itself did not work. Everything else about that movie, it was pretty good.
He's saying how
I
they
don't follow.
I'm not sure.
He's saying how they presented the moral was bullshit.
Oh!
Yes.
Okay. Kind of hard to make out anything he says.
I don't know. I thought the moral was basically the same.
Was, well,
No, but
we
how-
presented it in a more bullshit way.
Fair enough.
It was how they presented it.
Yeah.
and how they revealed it.
Well, basically, that the fact that everybody was materialistic until one girl's like, "This is wrong," and then they suddenly shape up out of nowhere instead of already having the spirit to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could buy that. Yeah.
But like, yeah, the gifts are nice, but this is what's really about. And we knew that.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, the movie just kind of didn't quite hit the same note with the moral as the cartoon did.
They over exaggerated rather.
Well,
It
not
seems like.
over exaggerated. It's just basically they did a turn heel out of nowhere for half of the civilians. I mean, they were practically trying to sell everything and buy everything and giving gifts like there was no tomorrow because that was the most ultimate thing. It's important. Yeah, I can get that. But yeah, it had some good moments, it had some bad moments. Personally, I would choose a cartoon over the live action movie, but I can have them both, so why choose? So let's move on to the next one. Unless anybody else has anything they want to chime in about how the Grinch Stole Christmas and the funny little image here.
I had fun with the movie. Both versions.
Yep.
In my honest opinion, that's the important thing. As long as you have fun with it. So
Honestly, I've
Sorry?
been trying to find it, but I can't. Is a version that or a DVD or Blu-ray release that has both versions.
that's never going to happen. I think they're owned by two different people.
Yeah, which is dumb because I want both, and both cost more money.
Hmm. Well, that's Amazon for you.
It's
Or-
everywhere.
Or a thrift store. Actually, I bet you could, not a thrift store, like a pawn shop. I bet you could find a one in a pawn shop and then the other one, yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Alright, so number 2 is a bit of an interesting one. Mystery Science Theater 3000, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh god, I actually have this on DVD.
Okay, this one, the joke is, apparently it has Rainbow Dash as the, human. Let's see.
This one, I think it was Joel at the time.
Yeah, I think it was Joel. Sweetie Belle, not Sweetie Belle, that's Scootaloo, is Crow.
Crow.
Okay, I got close. Crow. You would think I know that because after listening to several different episodes while I was playing Skyrim a couple weeks ago. And of course, you have a gumball machine as Tom Servo. Ha, got that right. Let's
That just
see.
reminded me of that Dr. Forrester I saw walking around the Anime Week in Atlanta a couple months ago. That had a good scale model of Tom Servo.
Oh wow, that's pretty awesome. All right. So yeah, this one is pretty much as you see here, what the image itself. You just have the three of them standing in a movie theater. I'm commenting on the movie. As for the movie itself, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. It is a very silly movie. The whole premise is Santa Claus gets abducted by Martians, who let's see. Okay, actually, I forgot why he got abducted by Martians.
I forget too, but it's this whole thing where Santa Claus ends up teaching the Martians about the spirit of Christmas, and it's everybody feels good.
Everybody feels good. He teaches them about the spirit of Christmas. I think they have a Sasquatch in there at one point.
Once you're done with it, you wonder what happened to your life.
Yeah. Of course, Mystery Science Theater did one version, which is readily available. There was also another version done on Riff Tracks, which is by the same people that did Mystery Science Theater 3000 and started to do internet and theatrical releases. Oddly enough, I have the Riff Tracks version. And I also watched it live when they did it a couple of years back. And it was hilarious. I loved it.
I've only ever seen the MST3K one.
Yeah, maybe I'll play it on stream sometime. Let you check it out. It's pretty fun. But yeah, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. It's just a silly movie with a lot of silly commentary, and you can't go wrong with that. Anybody else want to chime in on this one? I guess not. Yeah.
I hadn't seen it yet. You need to show me that thing sometime.
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah.
I've
Well-
only seen one episode of Mystery Science.
Sorry, what was that?
I only saw one episode of Mystery.
Well, you should see another one and make it this one.
I probably should.
All right. So let's go on to the next one here. Next one for day 3. Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas. Of course, this one it has a funny little image of Nightmare Moon trying to give away gifts to Apple Bloom. Celestia pleading with what looks like Big Mac, but I'm guessing is supposed to be Santa Claus, so Big Santa Tosh. Big Santa Tosh?
I remember seeing that somewhere when I was looking for Christmas images last year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up bringing this out from the one they had last year, but these are being made for 2016, so I don't know. They may have also grabbed images that they online and just cobbling them together. So anyway, this image is pretty much as you see. The joke, of course, Nightmare Moon is what does a little Billy want for a second Nightmare Night? And Celestia is pleading with Santa Claus that she's having another existential crisis. Please just let her have this. Of course, pretty much everybody here has to know about The Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's face it, it's basically a cultural phenomenon. You can't even go into Hot Topic without one piece of merchandise there being from this movie.
That's why you don't go into Hot Topic.
Yes, but for those of you who don't know, the movie is based around Halloween Town and the Pumpkin King Jack Skellington, who has gotten tired of doing Halloween. Of course, when his musings through the woods, as he does every other day, he manages to find a door with a Christmas tree on it. Opening it up and jumping on in, he finds snowflakes, lights, treasure, little presents, but no ghosts, no goblins, nothing spooky hiding under the bed. And all he can claim is, "What's this?" in sing-song voice for about 4 minutes because of this sheer audacity of it all. Moving along, he decides after much research, he and Halloween Town are going to do Christmas this year. And so begins the shenanigans of making Christmas time, kidnapping quote-unquote Santa, kidnapping or giving him a holiday, giving Santa a holiday, and also having to deal with Oogie Boogie, who decides, he just wants to screw things up, because why the hell not? Of course, this does contain some of the most interesting moments with kids opening up Christmas presents to shrunken heads, giant snakes eating their Christmas tree, and also Jack Santa Claus getting shot out of the sky by Air Force One, which is also kind of fun.
Well, by the Air Force, not Air Force One.
Oh, let's just have fun with it. By the Air Force, though. He gets shot out of the sky! Bam! So, yes, he goes down in flames, and thus it rekindles his love of Halloween, somehow.
Because one, he lands in a graveyard, two, he realizes he should stick to what he knows and not try to take somebody else's shtick.
Plus, just doing something different did give him a few new ideas and new ways to do things. So, yeah, it's okay to try something different, just don't get too caught up in it, I guess. Also, don't try to take over a major holiday. And watch out for kids with keyblades. But in any case, this was actually a pretty well-received movie. I thought it was okay. I actually watched it. I watched it before when I was a kid, but I didn't remember a lick of it. I watched it about a year or 2 years ago, and I thought it was an okay movie. I don't get why it's a huge, big deal that everybody goes completely nuts over, but I guess there's a nostalgia thing to it, or the fact that apparently most people that go to let me rephrase that. A good portion of people that go to Hot Topic tend to be a little bit overboard when it comes to more gothic and skull stuff. Let's face it. But in any case, the movie is good. There's plenty of merchandise abound if you really do enjoy it. Anybody have any thoughts that they want to throw in here?
I love the vector they got of Nightmare Moon.
Say what?
I love the vector they got of Nightmare Moon.
Oh yeah, it's a good vector. Oh yeah, just
my phrase to it for the moment is kidnap the circuit man, stuff him in a bag.
Kidnap the circuit
That's
man.
an old throwback for the show.
Kidnap the circuit man, stuff him in a bag. I don't know the rest of the song, but I know the rhythm.
Yeah. And that's kind of an interesting thing to think about there too, is how much people really with people who like this movie really like this movie, to the point that, I mean, it wasn't that long ago we got an entire album of all sorts of rock artists just redoing these songs.
Yeah, one of my favorites being the redoing of "Kidnap the Santa Claus" by Korn.
Yeah.
I think I actually heard that one.
You've had to, because one I played in the car a couple times.
That would do it, yes.
I'm personally not a big fan of Korn. I find it weird, but I like listening to it.
No,
Yeah, my rule is I don't particularly care who does what as long as it sounds good to me.
hey, I'm
weird
okay
like
with
when it comes
that.
to music.
No, if it sounds good, go for it. That's what I go with. I won't deny it. There's actually some more recent Justin Bieber songs that I'm okay with. I'm not going to buy his albums, but, I'm not trying to change the dial as fast as I can when I hear him either. Any case, there's one other thing I do want to point out. Nightmare Before Christmas actually did contain clay animation, which was unfortunately a bit of a
stop mission.
stop motion. Thank you, not clay animation, stop motion, which unfortunately at the time was not exactly in its heyday, but it was shortly before it started to die out because of CG.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. It kind of was. So when did the Corpse of the Bride or
Corpse Bride used the same
Corpse
technique.
Bride? Yeah, I was gonna say that one. I heard that one did pretty well.
Yeah, that one did pretty well too.
Really, stop motion is starting to come back. If you look at Leica Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Was it Paranorman, like a mix between stop motion, or was it all CG? I don't really know.
I forget, but it's...
Paranorman, I think, did blend CG and stop motion, but the majority was stop motion, and same with Coraline.
Yeah, there is stop motion is still out there. I'm just saying it's not as prevalent as it used to be, unfortunately. Then again, it made for some really interesting effects back in older movies too. So it is kind of sad to see just like these really perfect animals instead of this weird claymation Godzilla thing that's coming. It is a monster. We must slay it. Quickly run to the green screen. Wave our swords like we're trying to attack it. Oh, that's fun.
Are we talking about Birdemic?
No. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about that movie. That's a headache.
That's a fun movie.
They're getting a sequel. They got a sequel. How do you get a sequel?
They get a sequel.
Hey, Circuit. If Sharknado can be on 4 movies now,
I think so.
Yeah, it is on one.
I think I'll give it to Sharknado though. They embrace the fact that their movie is ridiculous and just went with it.
That's the thing about Sharknado, because they knew the movie was dumb and they took it in a way that made it work.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Day number 4, Jingle All the Way. And of course, we have bulk biceps with hand over that action figure, girl, or I will eat you. And of course, it's Scootaloo running off with the toy.
Okay, funny thing here, I never watched Jingle All the Way 1, and yet I've watched Jingle All the Way 2.
I'm going to have to ask you what you actually thought of that, because I never saw 2.
2 was interesting. I mean, Larry the Cable Guy, you can take him or leave him, whatever. It's pretty much, everybody's gonna have their own different tastes. I thought he did okay.
I forgot that they made it 2 until you just now said.
Yeah, it had Larry the Cable Guy, but let's talk a little bit about number 1 at least. I'll probably leave it to Suki here to talk about 2. Since there's 2 parts to this. Jingle All the Way 1 starred Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. Arnold Schwarzenegger being an overworked businessman that completely forgets to get a toy for his kid for Christmas. The true Christmas spirit, everybody. Of course...
Put the cookie down!
Of course, on he decides that he thinks that he can still get it on Christmas Eve. Big mistake. Thus ensues all sorts of commotion and calamity as him and Sinbad, who is also a postal worker that is basically on the verge of going postal, start to fight from store to store trying to get a Turbo Man action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Ending up with a big battle in the middle of the city with them dressed up as the Turbo Man characters and Arnold Schwarzenegger flying around on a jetpack. Of course, some of the more memorable moments are male bonds. The fact that Arnold Schwarzenegger's neighbor keeps lusting after his wife in ways that are actually completely creepy. And also summarizing the infamous line of "Put the cookie down now," which is
All these cookies.
your wife's cookies. Who said you could eat my wife's cookies? And of course, there was one funny moment of Arnold Schwarzenegger punching out a very angry reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. But yes, Jingle All the Way is not a Christmas classic. It is not a deep movie. It is shallow comedy, and I love it. I love every single bit of it. I think it's hilariously stupid. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I would enjoy every bit of it. Of course, as for all weirdness, even this one I'm a little surprised on, because Jingle All the Way did not do very well, but it did do semi-well. There's apparently Jingle All the Way 2, which Suki has had the privilege of watching.
Yeah, which I'll admit I'm not even sure how the hell this one happened either, because Jingle All the Way 2 happened, and funny enough, produced by WWE.
Really?
Yes, it's a WWE Studios movie.
Oh,
What?
you know what else WWE is making?
Hmm.
Sub 2 with John Cena.
Wait, what?
WWE Studios is making a Sub 2 direct to DVD, and it's got John Cena in it.
Blanked, get the vodka. I just need a blink up the next couple of years.
Alright. Do you want the gin or do you want the tonic to go with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
But yeah, as far as the movie goes, essentially take what happened in the first movie, kind of water it down a little bit. It's because, well, for one thing, this doesn't take place in a big city. This takes place basically in more suburban area.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you got Larry the Cable Guy, so of course he's out of a trailer and things like that. I mean, it's. See, the thing I kind of like in this movie is the fact that it's one of the few times where, Larry the Cable Guy still talks the way he does, but it at least doesn't feel like he's just doing a Larry the Cable Guy sketch the entire movie. Like, it at least feels like he's actually playing the character.
Instead of just randomly shouting, "Get her done!"
Yeah, although of course, like in every single fucking movie he's in, his character is named Larry.
Of course.
But yeah, and for those of you wondering, yes, there is a wrestler in this movie. It was Santino Marella at the time.
Well, there you go.
Funny thing, that guy no longer works for the company.
How about the Terminator thing in Actually, I don't even want to know how those themes would mix. But overall, Jingle All the Way is one of those Christmas movies I could really enjoy. And number 2, I'm probably going to have to check out.
Fun.
Alright, let's go on to day number 5. Oh, and this is a classic. Home Alone! This one, of course, we're seeing Firefly and what apparently is not Rainbow Dash's dad, but some people are still not buying it. With Firefly screaming out, "Dash, sweetie, you need to let mommy and daddy back inside now." And Dash's dad saying, "I told you we should have got Fluttershy to full sit." So, yes, apparently Rainbow Dash has locked her parents out. That's kind of funny.
Role reversal.
Yeah, a little bit. But Home Alone, which a lot of people know this movie, but I might as well go ahead and give it a brief synopsis, stars a rambunctious kid and his entire family who are going to be going on a trip. Of course, everybody is right now staying over at his house, so it's cramped rooms. Of course, he has an older brother that constantly torments him, his uncles and cousins, nephews, and everything else. He basically is not liked because he tends to be a little bit of a bratty jerk and whiner because he can't get his way. Because he's Macaulay Culkin. Of course,
How many people are in that one house? I think he kind of has the right to be a little bit bratty if everyone's just like, leave me alone.
Well, everybody's in the house for the holiday and just before they ship out. Why they're using that person's house as their gather spot before they all ship out on an airplane is completely beyond me, to be honest. But we'll leave the actual plot line aside.
Have you seen that side of the house?
It's a big house. It is a big house, but it still makes absolutely no sense to me. But
With you,
yeah,
boss.
but yes, due to a mishap due to power, everybody freaks out and they end up making a mad dash to the airport. Of course, what they don't realize is they have left Kevin, who decided to sleep in the attic because all the other rooms were taken, and he was just getting pissed off because no
No, I think
cheese
they
pizza.
no. His mother made him sleep in the attic.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
because he was being a brat.
right.
Because
Yeah.
his family's a bunch of asses.
And he didn't have his cheese pizza, which personally is a crime against God to me. But we'll leave that alone.
With you, boss. Let the man have his cheese pizza, damn it! It's the only thing that makes him happy!
So the
Again.
family flies off and then realizes they left Kevin behind and he is home alone. Of course, he enjoys it and goes wild for a while, but apparently it does not last long as two bandits, starting Harry and Marv, also known as the Wet Bandits for the time being, decide, hey, let's go ahead and rob all of these homes because everybody left for the holidays. Of course, they canvassed the neighborhood beforehand, as Marv was a police officer.
uh,
It's
They-
a fake.
Harry was the police officer.
Oh, really? I thought Harry was the guy with the hair.
No,
Marv was the guy with the curly hair.
Harry is Joe Pesci.
Of course. Why not? That actually makes perfect sense. It's like naming a really giant guy tiny. Anyway, they start to rob houses, and then Kevin finds out about this and starts to try to protect himself. First off, he scares them off until they realize he is home alone, and then he decides to wage warfare by booby-trapping the house, and shenanigans begin. Of course, during this whole time, Kevin's mother is trying to get over to Kevin, going through plane, train, and automobile, which is completely
John Candy.
with John Candy, which is completely ironic in a weird way. So yeah, it's one of the few roles that John Candy was in, just kind of as a cameo bit, but it was awesome.
Also, there's this weird subplot with the neighbor that everyone's afraid of, but they don't know why until realize, oh, he was an ass to his daughter and then had to watch his granddaughter grow up from afar.
No,
No, not quite.
his he and his son had a big argument, and his son said he never wanted to see him again, and he said the same, and then they never spoke since, but he didn't mean it.
But at the end,
So,
I think at
he
the
had
end
to
of the
watch
movie,
his-
he ends up
At the
reconciling
end of the
a little
movie,
bit.
they do reconcile, at least on that
Yeah.
subplot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This comes into play later on, so long story short, they do eventually try to break in the house, and Kevin does thwart them in a number of excruciatingly funny and painful ways. My favorite being the electrified fucking seat.
No, my personal favorite was the paint cans on the
Somebody find
stairway.
that clip.
I like the paint cans on the stairway. That just they just keep getting smacked by.
Marv was it? Yeah, Marv was the curly hair one, right? I forget.
Yeah, Marv is a curly haired
Fucking
fan.
spider, the tarantula he puts on his face.
Oh yeah!
You know what the funny thing is?
Oh, and whatever they had, I think Marv had to walk around barefoot, and there was tacks and sharp objects all pointed up.
I don't even want to think about that. I still remember seeing it when he's stepping on the nail when he was walking up the tar-covered steps,
I
and
did that once in real life. I know that pain.
I felt his pain, literally staples in the bottom of my feet. Ugh.
I've done it before, and it wasn't a nail; it was a screw for me.
Oh,
Yes.
Far worse.
Okay, but yes, along with Home Alone, Home Alone apparently was big enough to warrant a sequel, an actual sequel with Kevin getting lost in New York with the same shenanigans, as well as this time he has to deal with a hotel clerk, which I can't remember his name, but he's like he's completely
Basically
Tim
just-
Curry!
by Tim Curry.
with Tim Curry, who actually is a pretty funny actor because he can act like such an asshole and be fun about it at the same time.
And also a freaky asshole clown.
Well, Let's not go too much into that.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
Okay, this is not the
Pennsylvania.
this is not the Tim Curry podcast, but there was also number 3 that had absolutely nothing to do with 1 and 2, but kid stuck at home because he's sick. Shenanigans occur because you got international terrorists this time trying to find a microchip that got hidden in the car.
Guidance shit.
A guidance chip.
Rocket.
Yep, guidance chip, and hilarity ensues. And a 4th one, which apparently stars the same family, quote unquote, as the 1st and 2nd one, but it's not the same Macaulay Culkin because it's a different Kevin. It's a different mother. It's a different hair. This time it's actually Marv and his girlfriend, apparently. Went straight to DVD, and it literally goes downhill from 1 down. 2 was okay, but not as good as 1. 3 was worse. 4, that we basically just mentioned, and that's it.
3 was almost the things that would have actually killed people.
3 was pretty messed. Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
The traps he used and shit, those would have actually killed people. He electrified the fuck out of them more than once.
And showed John one.
He threw 2 of them in a freaking pool that couldn't get out and probably would have died of hypothermia.
Yeah, if the cops hadn't shown up.
Yeah.
Also the 5th one.
Oh god, we're not out. We're stopping.
There is no 5th one. There's no 5th one.
By the way, funny thing is...
Too quick recall to 1 is that the creepy old man did in fact save Kevin near the end of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's that.
Yeah. But funny thing is that on YouTube, there's the actor who played Marv. He put out a video. I think it was him confronting the spider again, and thing is that he can still do that damn scream.
He just did it for fun.
Yeah, he basically just did it for fun.
Wow, I almost want to see that video. You know what? Chat room, find that video. If you can, we will play it for a moment. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Actually, anybody have any thoughts on Home Alone altogether? It is basically a Christmas classic. It is silly. The games suck though, and the later movies just do not get any better. So stick with 1, maybe 2.
Culkin did not age well in the story.
And Culkin, unfortunately, he pretty much became the normal childhood actor, and it's not going well for him.
So I could have found it.
Yay!
All right, go ahead and throw it in the chat room so they have access to it too. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
I want to look at it.
Boom.
Yeah.
I gotta see this. I'll see it after the stream. I might die laughing.
Okay. But yeah, here we go. Here's it. Home Alone co-star resurfaces after 26 years. Please bear with me. YouTube is being a little bit of a pill to me lately.
Circuit, do you have an ad block on?
Yes.
That's what's doing
why.
it. I've already figured out that that's exactly what's doing it. Basically, it's taking...
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
It's playing it.
I hope I can show you without killing myself.
Ow.
Okay. Yeah, it is definitely the Home Alone guy. Daniel Stern? Is that really it? Or?
Yeah, that's his name.
That's his real name.
Oh, damn it.
Where do you want me to be?
Just film this horrible mess I'm about to
Okay.
Wow, he is really terrified of that spider.
So about about 1 minute he edged up the screen.
Actually, come here. Let's take a peek inside the bucket.
Yeah, he's as an aged badly.
People age like either fine wine or milk.
That's a huge spider, though. Wow.
Hey, just like in the movie, huh?
Bye, do not go near me.
There.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. But yeah, Home Alone, the first and second movies were good. The games are weird, but you might as well try them if you really, really want to, too.
I think one of them was actually decent, supposedly.
Not really. They weren't actually all that
It was
great,
playable.
but it's playable, which is, considering the state of games at some points, it's actually better. It's better than most. Anyway, anybody else want to chime in on Home Alone here real fast?
I think we
What I
said
will
nothing.
say is, I wanted to be like Macaulay Culkin in that if there was robbers, I would set up traps, but the onus would be I would actually kill them. And you don't come into another person's house to rob it without getting
I'd be a
shot.
little bit careful
Then
about
you
that
get-
in this day and
Then
age.
you get in trouble because you're not allowed to actually kill people unless they're actually threatening your life.
Well, actually, there's a kind of a
Depends on where you're at. If you give them the warning to leave and they don't do it, that's Texas, really.
yeah. There's some state laws that will let you for intruders, some that won't. You pretty much have to be careful with that, and might as well not because it's more fun to watch them suffer. They can find their cellmate named Tiny that decides they look real good.
Come on,
Yeah,
puppet
but then
boy,
you have
make your
standing
daddy
ground.
talk.
So basically, if I say, "Hey, get out of my property," and they don't, I have the right to shoot them.
Well, that might be the rule for your state then. Go for it. Any case, let's go ahead and move on to something a little bit more not shooting friendly. Miracle on 34th Street. Of course, this one has Celestia apparently as a judge and Derpy the mail mayor dropping off 10,000 letters, all addressed to Santa Hooves. Madam, this is a hearing to discuss your unpaid parking tickets. Of course, they're making the whole the parking ticket joke there. Now, Miracle on 34th Street, I unfortunately have not had a chance to see it. Though I do know the synopsis of the movie rather well. You have a mall Santa that is basically calls himself Santa Claus. Apparently this gets a lot of people really uptight and upset, and eventually gets to the point where they literally drag him to court. The big thing about the movie is at one point you have a bunch of mail carriers that come in, dropping letters all over the place saying that these are 10,000 different letters addressed to Santa, saying that he is Santa. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really know about it. So anybody else who wants to correct me or kind of fill in the gaps, please feel free to do so.
I haven't seen-
Unfortunately, I have yet to see either version of this myself.
Yeah, I was about to say there are several versions of it.
Well, I don't know about
There's-
several, but there's two that I know of. There is an older one that's in black and white, and a newer one that was made in the 90s, I believe.
Yeah, there's two. There's two more high budget ones that are the most well known.
Mm-hmm. And anybody else know anything about the movie here, or do we just pretty much go? This is pretty much what we have.
I'm going with that's pretty much what we have if we don't want to read off Wikipedia.
Yeah. You know what? I am going to go for that a little bit here. Because, you know, this Miracle on 34th Street is actually a classic. It is a very good classic. I actually feel a little bit ashamed that I haven't seen it yet, and I really need to. Here we go. Synopsis. When her toy department Santa shows up drunk for work, Macy supervisor Doris Walker hires Chris, an elderly gentleman with a white beard who looks like Santa Claus, as her emergency replacement. She comes to regret her choice, however, when she learns that Chris believes that he really is Santa. Chris works not only to restore Doris's belief in Santa Claus, but make her young daughter's wishes come true, all while trying to prove his identity in a court of law. That is basically the synopsis of Miracle at 34th Street.
I
So,
still have no idea what brings up the court case.
I'm not really sure either. I think, you know, I think this is just one of those, we are just going to have to watch it and really get an idea of it. But, let's see. When will we get to Silent Night, Deadly Night? If it's in here, we will get to it eventually. If it's not, maybe we'll talk about it after we finish the Advent calendar and throw out whatever Christmas movies we can think of that people should check out. In any case, let's go ahead and move on to Day 7, since we don't really have much else to add to this. Other than the fact it's a classic, go watch it. Now, speaking of another classic, number 7, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Of course,
With a very shiny nose.
Of course, we do see, it looks like Minuet and Rudolph are standing there amidst of a bunch of misfit toys, including a Twilight Sparkle pinata, Pinkie Pie cupcakes, and I'm almost looking for the Pink Lesty. Oh, no, wait, there's Pinkie or Molly right up there. Oh, Island of Misfit
Hey,
Merchandise.
You got the joke. seconds. Have you gotten the joke with Minuet being there?
Not.
In the original claymation, there was an elf that wanted to be a dentist.
Oh, duh. That makes perfect sense. Thinking about it. But yeah,
I want to be a dentist. You don't know anything about dentistry. I want to be a millionaire.
But yeah, see, Island of Misfit Merchandise is obviously the joke here. Of course, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a very old but still very well-loved classic. I don't think there's anybody here who hasn't seen this movie, but for those of you who haven't or haven't heard too much about it, it stars the story of the ninth reindeer, Rudolph, who has a glowing red nose. Of course, he teams up with an elf that also wants to be a dentist, which is completely ludicrous because elves are supposed to be toy makers, not dentists. So they both run off into the wild blizzard where they meet Sasquatch, or the Great Bumble. The Great Bumble
Don't they meet the? I think he's more of a.
Actually, yeah, I thought they met. Yeah, it was Yukon.
Yukon Gold, actually.
Yukon Jack, wasn't it?
Yukon Jack. Actually, I was about to get to that. They meet up with.
Actually, I think the Yukon Jack thing is a joke. Was this his actual name?
I think it might have been Yukon Jack.
Because I know the first name was Yukon. I can definitely remember that.
Yeah.
Oh God, but his actual name.
Well, we'll just go with Yukon. We'll go with Yukon for the time being. But yeah, they run into the Bumble, but they get saved by Yukon, who is searching oddly enough, searching the North Pole for silver.
Cornelius, thank you, Crazy.
Yukon Cornelius. Oh, duh, Cornelius, yeah. But yeah, he is looking for silver and gold. Of course, many misadventures happen, and they run across the island of misfit toys. Toys that unfortunately were made a little bit irregular, and they feel like nobody wants them. Of course, more shenanigans happen. Eventually, everybody gets together. Yukon Cornelius tames the Bumble, or basically, it's a abominable snowman, but I'm just gonna call him Bumble because they kept calling him that.
I think it's because of the translation for the abominable snowman, and from I think was it Nepal or? Well, from the original place that started it, like in the Himalayas, it translates to something similar to Bumble.
No, maybe, but either that or I just like how I just think he's just kind of like mildly insulting it by calling it Bumble, like you bumbling oaf. But in any case, so they end up getting all together, and everybody Rudolph ends up being able to light the way during a very snowy time. The misfit toys get taken up and used as, well, real toys for all the girls and boys. The elf becomes a dentist. Cornelius has a giant bear, but he doesn't really get any silver and gold. But I think he's just more than happy to have a giant Bumble.
Yeah. Also, there are many different versions of this story, because I remember an older classic, like an animation, not just claymation.
I think there was both.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the animation. I only remember the claymation right off the top of my head, to be honest.
No, I had it on a VHS of old holiday cartoons.
I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying I don't know. And unfortunately, Techman can't get the stream to load. Can somebody advise him to try Ustream? Anyway, yeah, I'm not. We'll probably. I have not heard about that one, but yeah, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, huge classic. This movie has been around. I don't know, maybe the 50s even.
At least 70s.
50s, 60s. I think it's actually a lot older than we imagine. You know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. But does anybody else have anything they want to add about Rudolph the Red-Nosed? 1964.
Nice.
Wait, Circuit, by the way, since I haven't pulled it up yet, I forget, was that a Rankin Bass production?
Yes,
That's
it
Rankin
was.
Bass.
That's what I thought.
Rankin Bass. Yeah, Rankin Bass. Yeah, that's right there.
In other words, the people that then went on to give us The Last Unicorn.
Hot damn.
Wow, gotta give it to them. They definitely know.
Also, they did
They
The Year
also-
Without a Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, I think so.
They
Yeah.
Actually, they did the
A
original.
lot of the claymation stuff from back in the day was Rankin Bass.
Yeah, actually, Rankin Bass also did the original movie versions of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, animation wise,
Yeah.
not claymation.
I think they did Frosty also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, a lot of the old claymation classics that we remember from way older are pretty much from the same company. Let's face it. But yeah, it's an old classic. It's a lot of fun. Apparently, they finally got a video game for the Wii a couple of years ago, and this was the most horrible thing that they ever existed.
Ooh, I want to link to it later.
I think Game Grumps played it.
Okay, I want to link to it later.
All right. In any case, anybody else have anything to add on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
The version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that I remember the best is the animated one from early 2000.
Oh, the one that stars Kathleen Barr, aka Trixie.
Yeah!
The great,
Yeah, I remember the updated version. That was a nice one.
I can't find it anymore, but I like that version.
Trixie the Red-Nosed Pony.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, was she Rudolph? Or was
Yes.
she?
Oh, actually, Cole, I know what crossover you're talking about. It's like Rudolph meets Frosty. For some reason they're like Frosty gets a magical enchantment on him, and they're out in the middle of Acapulco or something like that, and they end up melting. But Frosty has a family, and they end up refreezing them, but just their heads. They only end up refreezing their heads, and they get all of the headless snowmen back into the sleigh to go back. It was weird.
It's what it was.
Anyway. So, in any case, that is number 7.
Oh, not to mention the Rudolph and New Year special.
Oh, yeah, the New Year's special. I remember that, yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Number 8. Oh, my God. Okay, number 8, A Christmas Story.
Oh, God.
This is one of those. This is absolutely one of those movies that's either you love this movie or you can't stand this movie.
Unfortunately, it also might be because too many...
Can't stand it at the same time.
Well, let's go ahead and give a synopsis. A Christmas Story is essentially that. You have Ralphie, a nerdy kid with big glasses in the 50s with his family, trying his hardest to get a BB gun. I know they repeat the name of the BB gun over and over and over.
Red Ryder.
Red Ryder, thank you.
Yep.
The Red Ryder BB gun with built-in compass and this thing that tells time. But yes, the whole movie is him narrating as his older version of himself about how he would try to plot to get the Red Ryder by putting in secret messages in his parents' magazines, writing essays about it, and also living with day-to-day life as Christmas is coming up. Along with beating up on bullies, losing the lug nuts of his dad's car wheel, infamously crying out fudge.
Fudge. Except it wasn't fudge. It was the F word, or whatever that word that was.
It was a fuck word.
Yes, it was a bad word. But yes, the movie has a lot of crazy shenanigans, and it is fun. It is a lot of fun if you have not seen it. However, the problem is that it was an underground hit of a movie that a lot of people enjoyed here and there, and then it got famous, really famous. Now
It's played all the time. What is it? Hallmark that plays it?
No, it's TBS. Well, it may be something else, but TBS, they literally devote Christmas to a 24-hour marathon of this movie.
They do.
24 hours. And along with that, merchandise is all over the place. And what's worse, several years later, they come out with A Christmas Story 2, and it misses everything.
What made the first one good again? I don't know.
What made the first one? Is it an awkward kid that's trying to learn to grow up? Okay, let's make him 16 years old and do that again.
And be slightly pervy.
And slightly pervy. Nostalgia Critic did a great review of it. Be sure to check it out. I'm never going to see A Christmas Story 2. No, I will probably end up seeing A Christmas Story 2. I'm not going to lie. I will probably end up seeing it. I'm probably going to blast it the whole time.
Also, if you're in, I believe it's Cleveland, you can go visit the house that was the house in the movie.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
The original house?
Yeah, it is the actual house. Although technically the inside was not used. The inside of the house was technically sets, but they did rework the house to basically make it look like the movie.
Wow, that's pretty
Cool.
cool. But yeah, Christmas Story got unfortunately hit the popular pop culture bandwagon.
They got
So,
commercialized.
so unfortunately, that leads it to you either enjoy the movie and can enjoy watching it, or you can't stand it because it has literally been plowed into your brain. So hopefully it is the former, not the latter, because it is a fun movie to enjoy as long as you're not getting smothered with it. Of course, the fact that they end up going to a Chinese restaurant near the end with a bunch of Chinese waiters trying to sing. Rah, 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 rah.
Jack the hallway,
Which-
Hurry,
hurry.
rah, 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 rah.
Which by the way became pretty much my dad's way of asking should we go out for Chinese food.
We here at the Brony Show do not condone. Let's face it, it's not exact. It's done by Chinese people. They're making the joke. It's not exactly a stereotype. They're just having fun with the stupidity. Anyway, moving on. So, Christmas Story. Watch the first one. Watch the second one if you want to punish yourself. Or you think you might be able to do a great riff track of it. Okay. Now, Raymond Briggs, the Snowman. Of course, this one...
Is this the animated short that was just mainly the singing thing?
I believe it might be. I'm double checking. But the image here has the Cutie Mark Crusaders standing around a puddle with Scootaloo whining out, why would you skip straight to this part of the story? Raymond Briggs. Okay. Oh, yep. Raymond Briggs, the Snowman. Yes. Now, this one is a hell of a movie, to put it bluntly. I'm actually going to just grab they got a full version of it here on YouTube. I don't think it's a legitimate copy, let's face it. But I'm going to just kind of skip a little bit to the middle of it, because the thing about this movie, you can't tell the story because there is no story. The whole idea is it's imagery. The movie itself was done hand drawn, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, this was hand drawn. Technically, there's a story told through the music.
The music and also what you're seeing. But essentially, a boy builds a snowman that he really enjoys, and unfortunately has to leave him out in the cold. The snowman comes to life, and from there, he enjoys his time with the snowman. You get to hear beautiful music, you see incredible imagery. It actually ends up going to the point where they actually start flying. Though they show a bunch of little things here and there. The boy showing the snowman about the world, trying to make sure the snowman keeps together the whole time, enjoying their time together, and yep, the flying scene. All of this is done with hand-drawn animation, really detailed, music that's actually perfectly timed. It is the equivalent of a cinematic experience. This is not something that you can just sit down and say, this is what the movie's all about. This is something you have to sit. You have to watch. And every single bit of it is quite magical. It actually is one of those things I can't even continue. I can keep going over and over, and I'm gushing. I'm gushing a lot because it is a great, great movie. And, of course, it does have a bit of a bitter ending to it, unfortunately. Because just like all snowmen, it melts at the end.
Oh, at least it didn't have a carrot for a cock.
Well, leave that one alone. Of course, the funny thing is that, yeah, Cole actually pointed it out. There is a parody of the movie from IRN Brew, or Iron Brew. They actually managed to mimic the movie quite well with it. But the whole thing, the whole time of the parody is a snowman keeps trying to get the Iron Brew drink as they're flying around. And even the song, if you listen to the song, it actually talks about the Iron Brew and the snowman trying to get it. Eventually, the snowman actually gets pissed off enough and drops the kid.
And I think the song even goes, "And now I'm falling."
Yeah, it actually does say that. It's actually a hilarious song, and you really should check it out. The commercial is
Yeah, figured out
terrible.
the same thing,
Oh wait, and then you're showing the commercial. Wait for the end. There it is.
Yeah,
Just plop.
yeah. The commercial is a hilarious
Iron Brew
time.
Factory.
But
By the
yeah,
way, Iron Brew is illegal in the U.S.
I'm not surprised by that.
Food coloring.
I'm surprised by that.
Wait, what is Iron Brew exactly?
I thought it was a tea.
No, it's a British drink that I think might be kind of like a soda or something of that nature.
In all honesty, when I heard Iron Brew, I immediately thought beer, but since I have the kid drinking it, I can only also think it had to be a tea of some sort. Anyway, so yeah, you can even see that the kid is dancing with snowmen from all over the world. You can tell by the hats that they wear, actually. But yeah, it's really a cinematic experience, and it's an awesome, awesome movie. I can't really say much else. Does anybody else want to chime in on this real fast?
No, I mean it's pretty much like if this movie isn't part of core curriculum for animators at like art colleges and stuff like that, that surprises me.
It has to this has to be the core of a lot of different animators. It's pretty much everything that you need to learn with animation and telling a story.
Okay, so Toa, Iron Brew, did get allowed into the U.S. in 2002 by changing the food coloring they used in, but the Punkiero 4R was banned in the U.S. by the FDA, but it's used in the U.K.
Okay, that's what I had.
Yeah, they brought it to the or they brought it they made it a different way so it could be brought over in the U.S. in 2002.
All right, bear with me here a quick moment. Unfortunately, it looks like the person didn't keep up with their links here, so it stopped at 9. Though I know they have a lot more than that, so I'm having to run through the links real quickly.
Yeah. Honestly, this type of thing, if you parody a Christmas classic to sell something, do it right. As remember that Christmas story thing with the Sprint phone?
Let's not. No. We are not going to talk about that. That's nostalgia critic territory. We're moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. The Nutcracker.
The animation, the play, or the movie?
Yes. Yes, that too. The Nutcracker.
Let me phrase it how I know from the Care Bears movie, mostly, actually.
All right, let's quickly let's quickly talk about this real fast before we start going nuts. The Nutcracker. Of course, the image here has Cadence in shining armor. Cadence yelling at Shining Armor, "You're stepping on my dress. I thought you said you could dance." And Shining Armor shouting back, "No, I said I could prance. You just weren't listening."
I'm a Nutcracker right now. That's what you're hearing from my end.
All right, so the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker is it's a play, a movie. It's a toy. It's to several different cartoons. It's been parodied to death and back. Even last week we talked about the Target ad that used the Nutcracker. This is synonymous when it comes to Christmas and also royalty-free Christmas music. Because pretty much everything that was created for the Nutcracker is open realm. Anybody and everybody can use it however they want, and they do. But to give you a brief synopsis of the Nutcracker, you have a girl in a family that is given a Nutcracker as a present. Of course, they're a bit pissed off and peeved. They go to sleep. While they sleep, they dream, and the Nutcracker comes to life along with his soldiers. And along with that, a Rat King and his army come to life. Then the play is pretty much about how they combat against one another. Eventually, I don't know what the ultimate outcome is of the battling, if there is one, but eventually the girl wakes up and I don't know if in some cases she finds the Nutcracker toy and appreciates it a little bit more. Other cases, she gets visited by a neighborhood boy that happens to look like the prince that the Nutcracker was. Go figure. And other things like that. So the Nutcracker, the story is pretty much been butchered to death. I don't even recall what the original story was at this point to some extent.
I actually don't recall watching any version of it.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is actually the Tom and Jerry one because that actually had more magic to it than just some girl. Instead, it was Jerry wanting to be in the Nutcracker play because he thought it was an awesome idea.
You know what? We'll go with that. Okay. If you can, list a version of the Nutcracker that you do enjoy, or you at least recommend for LARPs or anything like that. I am actually going to steal Blank's one and the Care Bears Nutcracker because it's completely stupid. Or at least check out the Nostalgia Critics review of it. It's kind of silly. Yeah, I like the Nostalgia Critic. What are you gonna do? But
We all like him.
Yeah. But in all honesty, there is probably a lot of YouTube videos of the original Nutcracker play, though. You also got, I think the Nutcracker was also a ballet, wasn't it? In fact, it started as a ballet.
Yeah.
No, Nutcracker actually does start off as a ballet, which is basically, if you've never been to a ballet, an entire story is shown through dance and song. I think in most ballets, if not any ballet, you ever hear any actual voice acting. So it's actually an experience you have to watch more than anything else.
God forbid you actually watch something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the Nutcracker is pretty much a tale, a Christmas tale that is synonymous with Christmas. Has been redone in so many different ways. You can literally pick your poison and how to experience it. But most of you pretty much already know the tale of the Nutcracker to some extent. But it couldn't hurt to get the full story and see what the whole shindig is all about. Anyway, let me go ahead and jump in real fast since we are getting a couple of people. We're currently going through an artist advent calendar of Christmas movies as well as their pony variation jokes of them. So we're talking about the movies that the jokes are being made of and just commenting on the artwork as well. Basically a little bit of column A, column B, and column I was kind of feeling sick, so this is my way of doing something.
OMG is what you called it.
Yes. So, movie day 11, The Polar Express.
Oh, this old thing, it is awesome.
Alright, of course the image itself kind of tells its own story, but you have Molly dressed up as the train conductor saying, well, no, I think it's Applejack actually saying, ain't this joke a little played out? I mean, there's really no need for us to, Apple Bloom, sorry. But yeah, you got Molly there, dressed up as the train conductor. Now, for the Polar Express was actually a book. It started off as a book. I actually remember reading this when it first came out as a kid. It had some incredible artistry, and the whole thing was a bunch of kids getting onto a train that goes and meets Santa Claus.
Something about time stopping so that they would meet Santa Claus, but never spend more than a minute away from home.
No, it actually doesn't go through all that much. There's not a whole lot of story when it comes to the book. It's really the imagery that comes through. The movie, on the other hand, took the story and movietized it, of course. In this case, you do have a kid that gets boarded onto the Polar Express, which is oddly enough being handled by
Tom Hanks.
No, is it Tom Hanks?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it was Tom Hanks in this one.
Oh, okay. No wonder I
Yeah,
wasn't
Tom
getting it
Hanks.
right.
He did most of the non-children roles.
Yeah, I don't know why. I wasn't thinking Tom Hanks. I was thinking like one of the guys that were the Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray?
Yeah, not Bill Murray. Dan Aykroyd. For some reason, I was thinking Dan Aykroyd. For some reason, I don't know. Okay, so Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks plays the conductor. This is, of course, all done in CGI, so it's only the voice of Tom Hanks.
CGI.
It's really good CGI. Even nowadays, it's still really good. So, I will give him credit. The CGI is pretty much synonymous with the artistry of the book. It actually is really well done. Of course, I have yet to see the full movie, so all I can go on is little snippets of what I caught, which the movie does have a lot more music to it than the book for obvious reasons. And they do pad out the movie a lot more than the book, including the whole time stoppage thing that you mentioned, as well as I think some sort of I think there's like an evil presence that tries to stop him, or some other weird things. Anybody know anything about the movie?
I don't remember that far. I did buy the movie this year, and I plan to watch it. In fact, I can stream it if you want.
No, that's up to you if you want, but I wouldn't object.
Okay.
But yeah, the movie itself, it is pretty fun to watch. I'd say a Ghost Hobo. Yeah, that's it. The Ghost Hobo.
Yeah, that's Tom Hanks as well.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing the Ghost Hobo. I thought it was just like some sort of weird malevolent presence thing that tries to stop him because there's always has to be one thing.
No, I think it was more of the, why do you gotta believe in Christmas?
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of malarkey and that stuff. It just goes, look to yourself for your own happiness instead of looking for someone to give you happiness. He's not technically malevolent, but he's trying to be like, hey, alternate viewpoint here. At least that's what I can remember. I can't be wrong.
Might have to check it out. But yeah, Polar Express, it is a fun CGI movie. The book itself is really good too. I'd say check them both out, movie and book. I mean, you can't go wrong with the book, and you can't go wrong with the movie as well. Though I gotta admit, the image is kind of creepy. I'm trying not to laugh.
Uncanny Valley much. Very much Uncanny Valley.
Well, if it's all CGI, is it Uncanny Valley?
Yes. I mean, remember that scene in Rogue One with those two characters?
But that wasn't all CGI.
It was.
No, it was CGI character. It's some CGI characters in a live action movie. I'm talking about a movie that everything around it is CGI. It's like the equivalent of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You got cartoon characters with real life actors, but they're obviously are separate. It was done really well, and you can obviously tell there's a difference. I don't know how to explain. I mean, the whole thing of Uncanny Valley is something that supposed to look really human, but it just something seems off, and you can't place it at times.
The Uncanny Valley is the natural progression of like evolution, like say, like 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, where you get into like 3D, but the 3D looks really, really, yeah. And then the 3D progresses from there. And becomes really good again.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I don't ever call a full CGI movie with any kind of uncanny valley. It doesn't work that way because there's nothing comparing to it. It's all CGI. Though yeah, if you get really good CGI and then it kind of goes bad, I think that's more production quality than Uncanny Valley.
I guess you could probably say movies like Hoodwinked. Could be Uncanny Valley.
No, I would.
It looks off.
I don't know. Hoodwink though is completely animation, and it's actually really goofy animation. There's no way you could ever think that was a real human though. I don't know. I think this one,
the way it looks.
I think this is another topic for another time. But in any case, Polar Express and yep, awesome Brony. We got to remember, we only have one rule. You never ever let it cool. That's right, I do know some things. Okay, number 12! My favorite Christmas movie of all time! Die Hard!
Yes. People wonder why it's
Yay, motherfucker.
Yep, you
It
got
takes
it.
place around Christmas.
Okay, Die Hard, actually, it does take place during Christmas Eve, and it does have some Christmas jokes in it, so there is a reason why a lot of people call it a Christmas movie. Yes, it's not the heartwarming gift and kindness to all mankind, sing Santa. It is one guy literally taking out a bunch of terrorists in a tower that's exploding.
By the way, the adaptation of this from the actual book is very different.
There's a book?
Yes.
Okay then. Alright, so anyway, Die Hard. The image here, of course, is pretty fun. Let's see. I think it's the artist himself, Brony by exception there, watching the movie. I wonder if I'm the only one who watches Die Hard wishing it was a heist movie about Hans Gruber. I kind of would like that. I think it would be a fun heist movie, actually.
someone recut it into a heist movie. You have the scene.
No. We wouldn't be able to recut it. You would have to refilm it. Just do Die Hard, but make it into a heist movie, and don't put Bruce Willis in it because obviously heist movies the heisters are supposed to win, and I want Bruce Willis to win forever. So, Die Hard. Let's go ahead, get started. You have a police officer coming from Los Angeles all the way to New York. He wants to. My bad.
All the way around. New York to Los Angeles.
New York to Los Angeles. Who is visiting his estranged wife? He of course decides to take a limo down there and get himself acquainted with the tower when suddenly tragedy strikes, and a large group of terrorists seize the tower and begin holding everybody hostage. Of course, they are making several demands of this and that sort, and their whole goal is to get into a large bank vault in the middle of the tower with several bonds of what was it?
It was bonds, I think.
There was a specific term to the bonds, but basically a lot of bond money. Dun 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 dun. So a lot of money. So Bruce Willis unfortunately gets caught up in all of this, and he's having none of it. So wandering around barefoot through shattered glass, climbing through to different air ducts, and taking out one terrorist at a time, he ends up basically taking out the entire terrorist army, causing the top of the tower to blow up. You also have Officer Winslow on the ground helping him out. So you got the good guy cop trying to help him, and also the bad guy the bad people FBI that doesn't listen to a single damn thing they say because they have to know what's always right and da 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 da. And ends up becoming a wonderful hit of explosions, gunfire, and one man going through all odds and getting himself massively hurt just to win.
By the way, to make this a little bit more badass, in the book, it's a 60-year-old man going to see his daughter instead of husband going to see his wife.
Oh, well, the book might have to be something to check out then. But yes, Die Hard, it does take place during Christmas Eve. You actually see lots of Christmas imagery, and one of the big jokes is the first time he takes out one of the terrorists, he sends him down an elevator in a white shirt with a simple message: "Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho."
Fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest of the Die Hards do not take place at Christmas. I think Die Hard 2 actually did take place during winter, though. But not Christmas. I think.
It was near the holiday season.
Near the holiday season, yeah. But yeah, the other ones, unfortunately, don't have much to do with Christmas, so we just say check them out if you want to. They're good. They're not as great as the first, but they're still a lot of fun. And otherwise, it's a fun movie. Oh, Die Hard 2 is a year later. Is it during Christmas time, or is it after the holidays, or during the holidays? I don't know.
I think it's the start of the holidays. His wife has come to visit him for once.
Yeah.
So they're still a little estranged.
Yeah. They're always a little estranged, let's face it. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie series all around. It's a lot of fun. Bruce Willis is a great action star, and they're fun. I can't say anything else about it. I'd say it's a Christmas classic, even though, yes, it's a violent shooting action movie, but that is, it's a good movie. Anybody else want to chime in on this?
All I can say is this is an awesome film. I'm kind of sad that it lost potential as it went on.
No, it's
not the film itself.
That's probably for the better. Let's face it. Sometimes we'd end up getting Fast and the Furious 8 or Die Hard 8. Die Hard 8, Die Harder, but Die Harder still. All right. Okay.
They could probably legitimately use.
I'm not kidding though. They are making an 8th Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I imagine you weren't kidding about that.
Okay, now the next one. This one, I admit, I have no information on. Terry Pratchett's Hogfather. Of course, the image has Luna with Rarity and Sweetie Belle. Apparently, Luna is giving Sweetie Belle a sword. Rarity crying out, "You can't give that. You can't give her that. What if she cuts herself?" And then Luna pointing out, "Then there will be an important lesson."
I was wondering what that was about.
I don't know what this is.
I've seen that image, but I didn't get the content.
Well, let me see here. Okay, so I'm gonna look this up. Hogfather.
I already got it if you want a link.
Let's see. Oh crap! I think Suki might have fallen asleep on us.
I'm kind of.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going in and out.
Okay.
You might want to just go ahead and go to sleep, dude.
Yeah, if you're gonna crash, go ahead.
I'm basically closing my eyes and waiting until I hear the next movie title.
Okay.
But apparently, I didn't hear this one.
Okay, so Hogfather.
Did not see this one.
Okay, this came out 10 years ago, 2006. I do have some information so far. Hogfather, it's Hog's Watch, equivalent to Christmas, on the Discworld. And Hogfather has gone missing, requiring death to take his place, while his granddaughter Susan endeavors to find out what happened. I've heard of Discworld before. I know I've heard of Discworld.
I think everybody here's at least heard a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, Hogfather is a character in this, apparently akin to Father Christmas. Grants children's wishes on Hog's Watch night, which is December 32nd in their world, and brings them presents. But yeah, the whole point of the movie is that it's Harry Potter meets Christmas, I guess, is a blunt way to put it, with a lot of insanity.
The Hogfather, I know of that. Discworld, yay!
Yeah, Discworld, which is a really weird series from what I heard, but I don't know too much about it.
It's a cheeky little series, to say the least, about it.
Yeah.
Basically, Terry Pratchett was just writing, you know what if all this happened? And through it, death, the actual embodiment of death, or the idea, came to be his most prominent character. In this, someone found out that the Hogfather isn't real, because, parents do the Hogfather thing like parents do Christmas things here.
Fair enough.
And in that world, if you believe in something or think of something to exist, something similar to in the example here, they go, if there's a god of drinking, why isn't there a god of hangovers? And suddenly, there's a god of hangovers now. So it's all about belief and keeping stuff going.
In all honesty, I think this is going to be something we're going to have to check out just for the sake of silliness, but yeah.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I've seen it. It is very fun. Oh, and by the way, Death has a granddaughter.
Of course.
Oh, legitimately.
I don't doubt that. I honestly don't. So, in any case, Hogfather. That one is one we're going to have to check out. Apparently based on Discworld, which is completely silly. But let's go ahead and move on to number 14. And apparently number 14 is The Wizard of Oz.
That's a Christmas movie?
Let's see. This... Oh, actually, that's the question here. Applejack, who's apparently dressed as...
Dorothy.
You
have a Kansan. Do not screw up the Wizard of Oz.
Calm down.
By that shit.
Calm down, I'm trying here. But yeah, dress up as Dorothy. She's saying, this doesn't seem all that Christmassy. And the Wizard of Oz, which is Twilight's head, well, they put it on every year at Christmas, so I guess it counts. So I guess Brony by exception apparently gets the Wizard of Oz around every single Christmas. So, yeah. Alright, so real quick, Wizard of Oz. You have a girl living on a farm. Her dog is about to get sold to a wicked lady on a bicycle that is basically a bitch. She of course doesn't. Wait, what?
Let the expert handle it.
Okay, shoot.
In the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, he comes home after her dog went to a cranky old lady's yard and dug up some flowers. Cranky old lady's like, you better have that mud on leash or I'll have him destroyed. Well, dog tries to bite it, and she's like, I'll get the chef and and have him removed. Then destroy him if you don't hand him over. And Aunt May and her husband, Uncle Henry, they have to give the dog. Dog escapes. Twister comes.
Yay.
And then we go to Oz, where we find the Munchkins, tormented by the evil, wicked witch of the West, which is the same person as that one to destroy said dog. And then along the way we have a scarecrow who needs a brain, a tin man that needs a heart, and a lion that needs courage. Throughout these misadventures, we eventually come to the Emerald City, where everything's all happy and hunky-dory until the witch comes and goes, "Give me those ruby slippers that I've been hounding you for the past 3 days." And then we go off to kill.
Before I forget, though, you gotta cut that slightly wrong. You gotta remember, they're not Munchkins. They are the representatives of the Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild. The Lollipop Guild.
Nope, you're wrong. That's one of the many groups of the Munchkins. I was in the damn play. Boom.
I'm kidding, but I just
First
want.
off, we know. Second off, chill your girl, boy.
Also, Tokoi, we're talking about
Before
the
you
movie,
fry
shut
your
up.
laptop and yourself.
We are talking about the movie, which they only show them as the Lollipop Guild. Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, basically, this is one of those. She had the ability to go home the whole time, but but the journey to find and make new friends and help them were more important than her going home. Only to find out it was all a dream, was it?
And then they come out with another movie several times later, which is actually a lot more creepier. It ends up with a witch that literally changes her head, a cobbled together couch moose, and I'm just gonna leave it alone from there.
That's more in line with the actual books, though.
Yeah, I know.
The film.
But yeah, Wizard of Oz. Check it out, I guess. Not exactly Christmas, but I guess it works. Now, number 15, the Santa Claus.
Which one?
Well, I'm guessing the one with Tim Allen.
It's the Tim Allen one.
That's a Tim
Tim
Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, the Santa Claus. AJ, I think you killed him. He was trespassing on our property. Now hush and fetch me some bleach. Yeah. But yeah, basically, the Santa Claus, or the Tim Allen one, is a Christmas classic, somewhat Christmas classic at this point. You have a businessman, Tim Allen, that, of course, is divorced from his wife, still manages to get his kids, so he's a bit of a lucky bastard.
It was a healthy.
But yes, he manages to get his son for Christmas. So he after some shenanigans and hearing some weird noises on the roof, he goes out to see that somebody is crawling on top of his roof. He shouts out to him, and summarily the fat guy falls off his roof and dies. So Tim Allen kills Santa. So
And thus, through a funny little thing called the Santa Claus,
yes,
because he put on the coat, he becomes Santa.
Yes, he puts on the coat, he runs Santa's errands, and has become Santa Claus. Of course, he thinks it's all a dream, especially considering the fact that he has pajamas that say SC on them, and they're completely silk and shiny, and he has no idea where he got them. But then, as the next year rolls around, he starts to put on weight. His hair grows out, and he grows a big beard. And little by little, he begins to accept the fact that he is Santa Claus. So he becomes a little bit more warm about it and ready to go. However, everybody else around him thinks he's going blithering insane.
Except for his son.
Except for his son, who was actually there. So it ends up going to the point where he gets arrested and put into jail because they think they kidnapped his son. The elves end up launching an elite elf squad to rescue him from the prison, and he ends up revealing that he is indeed Santa Claus by flying a giant sled over everybody and giving them gifts that they wanted when they were 3 years old, and now they're in their 30s. I'd say that's a really good way of proving yourself at that point. And thus, a new Santa Claus is born with Tim Allen. And then the second one comes out where he's forced to get married. And then a third one comes out where he does a switch of role reversals with Jack Frost, and I didn't really watch too much of it, and I just kind of meh.
Basically, how it goes is that they got a kid on the way. He's having to lie to the new woman he married. He has to lie to their parents because he doesn't want to show off the whole Santa Claus thing. It's the stress is eating at him. He decides to swap with Jack. Unfortunately, he doesn't realize that means he basically does a whole retcon of time where Jack was the one who pulled the code and all that jazz. And the movie basically just goes on with him trying to get get back to being Santa. Yada yada nonsense. Jack Frost is actually an asshole.
Yeah, go figure.
He actually freezes he freezes some of the parents for I think one of his stepkids or something of that nature. It's actually a little on the dark side on that bit. It doesn't end happy though.
Yeah, but the first movie is good. The second movie's okay. I don't know too much about the third. What do you think?
Some people seem to like the third.
So
I don't really know the full gauge, so.
Definitely should check out the first one at least, if not all of them.
The first one's definitely its own little fun little classic, so.
Yeah.
Then the second movie also had an evil quote-unquote animatronic Santa. Animatronic Alan.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, because he was having him try to stand in for him while he was, trying to find a wife.
Yeah.
I don't even
3
recall that one, but then again, I only recall little bits and pieces of the wife thing. Because they're just like, there's the most important part, that little dot is actually a giant line of text!
Yeah, no, that is a silly thing about that, is that it's, like, oh, look at all this nice embroidering. Actually, it's an entire document. What?
Alright, well, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This one is the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, no.
God!
Oh, no! Oh,
No.
Happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day. Okay.
Where's that Wilhelm scream we needed?
Let's put it this way. This is one of the few things that at this moment is still technically canon in the Star Wars universe. Despite all the insanity, this is still the only thing that is ultimately canon because of how Disney phrased the canon. Ultimately being anything that has come out in movie theaters or TV. And this did. The Star Wars Holiday Special, of course, is their attempt to do a Christmas special. It doesn't star... It stars little snippets of basically everybody that was in the movie. Chewbacca, I can't believe I forgot all their names all out of nowhere.
Chewbacca, and that's all that matters.
No, you still get little snippets of Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Actually, technically, it is canon. Technically. CC, it's technically canon, though, admittedly, it's nothing that anybody's ever going to refer to. Ever. This is a movie that was so bad that George Lucas himself, this is the one thing that George Lucas will never admit that he created. He tried to have every single copy that he can find destroyed. It has never been re-released outside of the original TV airing, and it is... if it wasn't for the internet, we probably would have never known that it existed to begin with. But yes, the whole idea is it's Lights Day, which is supposed to be the Wookiee equivalent of Christmas. Now the whole thing is, it's a bunch of shorts. While they're waiting for Chewbacca to come home to his family that we never hear about. Okay, actually, CC, I'm not spreading misinformation. Hold on. Okay, I mean, never mind. Okay, you know what? Let's just put it this way. This is an unholy abomination that is mostly hilarious. We're never probably going to acknowledge it outside of this, and nobody else is going to ever acknowledge it outside of this. So let's move on.
Okay, so I have a thing here regarding the canon editing.
Yes.
The Star Wars Holiday Special is technically in the Star Wars canon, which means that the events depicted are part of the greater continuity that includes the other films, novels, comic books, video games, etc. Generally, it falls in the C canon in the overall Star Wars continuity.
Sea cannon.
I don't know.
Yeah, here's the thing. Star Wars has a little bit of a tier thing. However, since Disney has incorporated it, they only have the movies, whatever TV shows are relevant to the thing, and the comic books that are produced by Marvel, as well as a few from Dark Horse that were made based on Clone Wars scripts that could not be made into animated things.
All right. Well, in any case, let's just face it. This is never going to be acknowledged as canon to anybody or anything. This is officially a joke. This is the worst thing that has ever been made of anything, and we might as well go ahead and go through it real fast. So, this involves Light's Day with the Wookiees. It involves a bunch of little shorts while they are waiting for Chewbacca to come home while he is on the run from the Empire's forces. Of course, it contains a lot of things, including a cooking segment that is trying to be followed by the Wookiee mother with a very weird four-armed crazed lunatic. It contains a singing segment by B. Arthur over at her bar, which actually is not a bad segment. I thought that was pretty fun. One of them involves a Grandpa Wookiee that puts on a VR headset and has a weird alien beginning a weird striptease that makes absolutely no sense and actually kind of makes you feel creepy if you think about it.
Strip-teasing Wookiees.
Yeah, strip-teasing Wookiees.
I don't think there's even any Wookiees in the actual thing.
There's Wookiees in it. Just that's all there is. There's only no, not the dancing part. No. Then there's actually one weird one where it literally is an instructional video about how to build a machine, and that's it. There's no jokes. There's absolutely no jokes. It is literally an instructional video for a non-existent machine that a little kid is watching to build a toy. And it's just a bunch of some of the stuff that does stand out. They did have a little animation bit that contains some story between, I believe, between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back that also shows a little bit more about Boba Fett, which is one of the big things that people really wanted to dig into there. And it also contained, well, obviously scenes from all the different Star Wars characters. And let's see, what am I missing? Anything else? Not really. There's John Tron and sorry. What was it? I think we lost him.
And Stouchka.
Nope.
Toa, you're kind of dripping in really badly.
Back in.
He's a robot.
He's gone. We lost him. So yeah, just real fast. Yeah, it's a crazy, stupid movie. You can find it online because unfortunately the internet is forever, and somebody was recording. And Nostalgia Critic and JonTron have both done reviews of it, and they have actually done a really good job doing a lot more damage to this than I ever could. And it hurts. This whole thing hurts, though. It did come out with one of the most awesome things I've ever seen in my life, Santa Christ.
Santa Claus.
Santa Christ. We all love Santa Christ.
We're nerds!
Okay, we are. Oh, Cinema Snob apparently did the movie too, so be sure to check that out. So, Star Wars Holiday Special. Anybody else want to chime in on this?
I have never watched it, and I am somewhat thankful for it.
Leave it be.
Yeah, I go with that. It exists. Check it out if you really, really want to. It does not come recommended. Run for your life.
Run for the hills, run for your life.
Let's move on. Next one.
Save you from it.
Okay, now this one, I'm hoping somebody has actually seen this because I really don't know. Regular Show, the Christmas special.
I
don't think I saw it.
Let's see. This has Octavia DDR, Pinball, Polar Bears, and now a Lava Pit. This is ridiculous. And Vinyl Scratch. Soundtrack is pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, that sounds like a regular show.
It does sound like Regular Show. I have seen some episodes of Regular Show. I have not seen the Christmas special. Awesome Brony apparently has.
It's weird.
Apparently, Awesome Brony says it's one of the best Christmas specials ever.
It's weird, so good.
You've actually seen it?
Yes. I have.
Please tell us about it.
I don't remember a whole lot of it other than they go to hell.
Oh hell!
You know what? We'll go with that. They actually go to hell?
They fall in, well, they go into a pit that goes down to fire, so yes.
Okay.
Well, kid, you're going to hell. You can the Rock of the Birds, and now this is your hotel.
Why, you actually know the lyrics to that song? Jesus.
I happen to really enjoy South Park the movie.
I
thought
enjoy
it
it
was
too, I
very
just could
decent.
never catch the lyrics.
Okay, we replaced your heart with a potato. You have about 5 seconds to live.
Damn it! It never gets any easier.
That movie was silly. Okay, anyway, so regular show. If you enjoy anything in regular show and you want something Christmas themed, I guess it exists. I don't really know much else, unfortunately.
I've seen more of the Halloween specials than the Christmas specials.
I have seen one of their Halloween specials. Regular show, I think they're actually nearing their last legs if they haven't already. Unfortunately, they aren't.
Now it's regular. Now it's regular show in space.
What,
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
Well, J.G. Quintel, the dude that made regular show, said, yeah, after this season, he's ending it all.
If they're regular show in space, dear God, they do have to end it at that point. Because that is literally insane. Anyway, moving on. Before I go on another tangent. Oh crap! Of course. Okay, next one. Number 18, Woodland Critters Christmas.
Oh, speaking of South Park,
Yeah, speaking of the devil. Okay.
Special time, and the time is here to Woodland Critter Christmas. Hail Satan!
Can we just get the DBZA clip of everyone just saying Hail Satan?
I almost want to, but let's talk a little bit about this because it is actually a Christmas special. So the whole idea of the Christmas special is Stan goes out into the forest and sees a bunch of cute critters that are talking about bringing the savior into the world, and they're all excited and they keep asking Stan to help them out. Of course, one of the big things is that apparently a skunk is pregnant with the savior, but in order to make sure that the savior stays safe, is they got to stop some cougars that are basically killing them and preventing them from being able to birth the savior. So Stan, after he's tormented constantly by them, goes and attempts to save them by killing the cougar mother. Finds out the cougar mother has cubs. He feels guilty running back into the forest and finds out that the woodland critters are actually evil, demonic, evil critters, and the fact that the savior is literally being born from a skunk should have been an obvious clue.
It was a porcupine.
My bad.
it was Porcupine.
Like it mattered.
Porcupine the porcupine. So,
Fairy the bear and Rabbity the rabbit. And
So,
Chickadee.
yes, let's not go too far there. So Stan ends up.
I think you're forgetting to mention that that what it actually is that it's the savior, it's the Antichrist.
Yeah, well, but they didn't say explicitly it's the Antichrist until after they find out that.
Yeah, well, you're at the part where they found that out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they are birthing the Antichrist. So Stan runs back to the mountains. Stan runs back to the mountains to collect the cubs and hopefully get them to stop the Antichrist from coming. Of course, they need to know how to perform abortions. This is South Park. Please make sure to keep this in mind. This is South Park. This is normal.
This is also written by Cartman.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is also written by Cartman, who's known to be a complete maniac and kind of a sociopath.
In which they had one of those
No, he's more of a psychopath, really.
They had one of those really just genuinely funny moments where they bring that up. It's like, yeah, maybe we should learn how to do abortions. It's like yeah. Then the narrator's just like, and off Stan went to teach them how to do an abortion. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. Yes, he did. No, I'm not doing that. And it just goes, yes, and then he's in the abortion clinic holding the cubs.
Did. Yeah, it was actually really hilariously done. So Stan ends up teaching the cubs how to give abortions. They go over to the forest, but find that they are too late. Of course, Stan gets Kyle involved somehow. And then Kyle decides, yes, he wants to give birth to the Antichrist because he's Jewish and evil. Remember, this is Cartman. So let's just say a lot of gross messed up stuff happens. Kyle regrets his decision. The Cubs go into action. They save Kyle, who unfortunately dies of ass cancer 3 days later, or something like that. AIDS 3 days later.
God damn it, Cartman!
Yeah. And that's when we find out that Cartman was reading the Woodland Critters Christmas.
That he wrote. Would have directed.
Yeah. It does have its moments. It is really funny. It is South Park, though. It is South Park humor, so if you are not used to South Park humor in any way, do not watch this. If you do not like South Park humor, obviously you are not going to watch this, but I will warn you still, do not watch this. This is South Park.
Blood orgy!
Yay!
Yeah, sacrifice me to the devil! Drink my blood!
Yeah, it gets messed up. We'll just say it right off. It gets really, really, really messed up. So I think that might actually be it for the Advent calendar. No, we got one more. We got one more that he just recently put up there. And unfortunately, this one, I hope somebody's watched this because I have yet to, and I do apologize. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, I have actually.
Jesus.
I have seen that, actually.
Okay, so
Johnny Bravo version.
hold on, really fast. The joke is, of course, with Filthy Rich and his bride to be, Spoiled Milk. Spoiled
Which
Milk.
is a horrible name.
I know. I almost felt like the parents just really didn't like her. Okay, so I will give you the moon, Milky. I'll take it. And Luna in the background screaming, "The hell you will."
The hell you will!
So a nice little joke there. But yes, It's a Wonderful Life is a very classic, very, very classic old movie. Where essentially a man kind of regrets all the crap that's happening to him, and kind of wishes that he figures that things would be better if he was never born, and so an angel decides to show him otherwise.
This is the movie that began all those tropes.
It basically started all of the tropes. Yes. So does anybody have actually seen the movie? Can give a better idea of what exactly is entailed with all of this?
So basically,
wish I could, but it's not that I haven't seen the movie; it's that I haven't seen it in forever.
I think Creature knows. So
Yeah.
I believe I watched some of it, but let Creature retell it. I'm pretty sure he has better grasp of it than I do.
Okay.
I know it's something along the lines of not exactly suicide, but wishing one was never born or something of that nature.
So yeah, like Circuit said, it goes through his life wooing his love. They begin a family. He begins to regret his decision and thinks everyone would be better off without him. Then an angel comes and shows him the life that would happen if he wasn't there, and realizes that he is completely dead wrong. And finds out that it's much better worth living with your mistakes than dying and let everything else just happen.
For that, yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it up. Now, the one thing I will give a little bit of story, because there is one little part of this movie that is permanently tattooed to my brain, and I have Hollywood Video to thank for this. Actually, there's a lot of different movie snippets that are tattooed in my brain, but namely this little end part. Now, Hollywood Video used to run a promo video on all of its Christmas movies and things, and latest releases and things like that, whenever a new season rolled around. Of course, they had a Christmas video that they would play over and over and over ad nauseum. This video would repeat itself every 15 minutes. And there was a little snippet where the bell would ring. It's like, "Daddy, Daddy, whenever a bell rings, an angel gets his wings." That's right. That's right. And I kept hearing that over and over and over for 3 months, 15 minutes at a time.
Know that clip.
I will never have that out of my brain again.
And again, some people take the idea here and flip it on its head, like the Fairly Odd Parents, where Timmy says, "I wish I was never born," and we actually see the world is better off without him.
Yeah, there's a lot of places. There's a lot of shows and
Yeah.
movies that do that too.
Yeah, it was said right in this group. This started off a massive trope that is used pretty much constantly in almost every single show, cartoon, it's almost a requirement at this point where somebody's like, what will happen if I wasn't born or if I wasn't here and things like that, and then it ends up like they end up either making the world a better place or the world ends up royally screwed, depending on how cruel the people are. Though I don't think has there ever been a case where nothing different ever happened? Person was literally pointless.
I'm
sure there has been.
Yeah, there has to.
I can't recall.
But then again, thinking of an MOP example, if Starlight and just bringing it back around there, if Starlight had succeeded and everything not gone to hell in a handbasket many times over, would it really be any different for today's show? Like this point in time, if Starlight succeeded but nothing horrible went wrong.
Well, I got nothing for that.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. You can stop one incident, but one man can make the difference between a living hell or heaven.
Alright. Well, in any case, it looks like Awesome Brony has Tiny Toons apparently did one version of this that was pretty awesome in his version.
Was it Buster or was it Plucky that did it? Maybe Hampton.
I think I recall it, but only just like at the outskirts of my mind. I don't remember it all together, unfortunately. Anybody else have any versions that they could think of or anything like that, or anything they want to add to this?
Actually, the Nostalgia Critic one is actually very fun.
Oh yeah, that's another one where everyone was better off with that.
Yeah.
Which I think that's the more comically, the more comic one.
Yeah, I'd like to see one where a person literally did not matter at all. Period.
Like he just vanished from the background and.
Yeah, he could just vanish and nothing would ever change at all.
But.
I mean, could you imagine what it'd be like, not just making people's lives better or worse because you weren't there, but because you literally had no effect on anybody?
I think Rick and Morty did a very loose tie-in to that with the daughter, where every future she was seeing was like absolutely nothing different.
Well, I can kind of get that. That one was a really weird episode, though.
Yeah, again, loose tie-in. Not.
Alright, well, I think we pretty much tied up everything that we have there for the moment. There's no more Advent days because there's still a few more days left until the 25th, and he needs to make them for one a day. So, if you want to see what the rest of them are from Brony by Exception, be sure to check out his DeviantArt, Brony by Exception, of course. And while we move on a little bit here, let's actually talk a little bit more. Does anybody have any Christmas video or Christmas recommendations out there that we did not cover with the 19 Days of Advent calendar? And while we're talking about that, I'm also going to be posting up somewhat cute pics of Twilight and friends in Christmas outfits.
Rad. Anyway.
Chat room, you can also post your thoughts as well if you have any Christmas recommendations.
Mine personally is my absolute, or not absolute, but top 3 favorite A Christmas Carol.
Which version?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go a little.
The Jim Carrey one wins by a little bit.
Actually, the Jim Carrey one, I will give you that. Christmas Carol. How could I forget A Christmas Carol? Yeah, let's go off on Christmas Carol here a little bit there. Christmas Carol is it's pretty much the story of Scrooge. Scrooge is a miserable miser, holding on to his money, not giving any to charity. I'm just saying, that everybody needs to earn their own money, and maybe they just need to go and die if they can't get their own money, or they need help, because screw them.
If they rather die, they better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Yeah.
That's
Then
fun.
again, this is England back in the, I want to say, 16, maybe 1800.
It's Charles
1800s.
Dickens. It's Charles Dickens, so it's about 1800s.
It's 1800s.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, Scrooge is warned first by his former partner, Jacob Marley, about his evil deeds that he did in life have shackled him forever, and he will be carrying the chains for the rest of eternity. But he could save himself. And then, of course, he is visited by three spirits afterwards. The Christmas spirits of past, present, and future. Little by little, seeing the events of the past that have changed him, the events of the present that he's missing out, and the events of the future that basically mock him, calling him a miserable miser, and nobody loves him, and he sucks in so many ways. Yada yada.
The consequences of his actions
Yeah.
that were either directly or indirectly related to him.
Yeah, and eventually through the events of seeing what caused what he is missing out, and the consequences of everything he's done, he begins to change his ways and feel a little bit warm-heartedness for others. Eventually changing around on Christmas Day to the much amazement and surprise of everyone. And of course, as
And
we
resulting in Tiny Tim's life being spared.
yeah, Tiny Tim, who also dies because of malnourishment and non-treatment, is also spared and living a full and robust life. And of course, this trope has been done a lot.
This is probably the number one overused trope.
And
Also, it is the spirit of Christmases yet to come, not future.
it's a little bit of column A, column B.
Thing.
It's both.
It's
still
literally
the same.
the same thing.
It's honestly the same
You
thing.
start
I've heard it
picking up
both
the name, I'm
ways.
gonna start throwing a magnet at you.
I'm already screwed up. You can't screw me up any worse. You might ask me
I'm
to make
pretty
me-
sure I can.
All right. Well, any case, as mentioned, there are several different versions of it. So I want us to shout out some of the versions that we do recommend seeing. The first one I just want to point out right off the bat: Muppets Christmas Carol.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna
That's
suggest.
classic.
Well, I got it first. Anyway, but yeah,
I was gonna.
But let me just chime in real fast. I mean, you got Muppets. You have a really great Scrooge. I unfortunately forget the name of the actor, but he does a really good job of it. The songs are good and catchy. They go through the whole storyline, and they don't, it has a little bit of dwelling, but it's Muppets. It's well acted. It's pretty fun. I practically watch it almost every single Christmas without reservation, and even outside of Christmas I'll watch it because I find it a lot of fun.
That one was generally really well written and all that good jazz.
Yeah, plus just having the two old men as like Marley brothers. We're Marley
Well, I
and
can't remember
Marley. Our hearts were painted black. Sorry. So, and one of you recommended the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol.
Yeah, that was me.
I get to see that one myself.
It's my favorite.
It follows the original story rather closely because you actually have the two little kids that basically kill the Christmas present.
Okay,
Go
here's
ahead
how
and talk
closely
about a
they-
creature.
What?
Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay. Here's how closely they got it. A very tiny detail in the book, they nailed down perfectly in the movie, which was a dog leading a blind man that actively avoided Scrooge's presence, and that is betrayed in the movie. The dialogue looks like it was taken directly from the book, except for some included dialogue because of movie adaptation, but they do not leave any lines out. I went and read the entire thing right after watching the movie, and it was just about one for one. It was like striking, almost.
I
Of course,
do.
according to Nostalgia Critic, what happened to the Ghost of Christmas Present was rather terrifying.
I loved it.
Okay. Anyway, just real fast, there is one thing I want to throw out there. I did love the Jim Carrey one too. I think it's one of the best ones, and everybody should see it. There's only one thing that irks me. It's that stupid
Carrey.
chase scene that they have with the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come.
Okay, yeah, that is probably the biggest the downer for it because it lasts a little bit too long.
Well, it's not just too long. It's really stupid and hokey, and it kind of clashes with the whole idea of the
It's
story.
a bit jarring with everything else going on.
I mean, suddenly he's running. He's the size of a mouse. He's running over rooftops, sliding on icicles, and it's just really. Was this absolutely necessary?
Honestly, I got turned off from the like how they presented the end of Christmas Past. That was actually pretty well done.
Oh no, I like it. It was good. Okay, let's see.
Actually, I
Yeah.
have a second recommendation.
Okay. Well, let's let everybody else chime in real fast. Anybody else have any ones that they want to recommend for
Yeah, here's one you probably never heard of: Christmas Carol Zombies. It's a comic book adaptation of a Christmas Carols, but instead of Scrooge's cruelty and whatnot being metaphorical, it's physical in that everyone he's ever wronged, he spread a disease to, who that when they die, they come back as the undead horde.
That's just weird.
That is a really
But
interesting
it's
thing.
actually a good story, and also there's a twist with the ghost of Christmases never to come. You heard me right. Christmases never to come.
Well, yeah, he's starting a goddamn zombie apocalypse.
But it's a very good story. Linkara reviewed it on a Top the Fourth Wall. It's up there. Watch his review of it if you don't want to buy the comic. At least watch his review. It's in 3 videos. It's a good watch.
Fair
It's
enough.
actually a nice take on the whole Christmas Carol. Scrooge's cruelty affects people.
Fair enough. Okay, anybody want to throw another Christmas Carol movie in there? Or, I guess, a movie, book, or otherwise?
I'm looking at chat, and Awesome Brony throws out the Animaniacs Christmas Carol.
Actually, I don't recall that one too much, but... I actually, no, wait, no, I do. I remember now, yeah. Plots is visited by the Warner Brothers that are the and Chicken Boo is actually the ghost of the future. Yeah, I remember that one. It was a weird one, but it definitely was Animaniacs in style. Though, yeah, there is one that he also mentioned that I was going to mention as well: the Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol, which actually had. Sorry.
I was actually going to recommend that one too.
Oh, well, I'll go right ahead and go for it then.
What?
Go ahead.
It's a simplistic take on the story using Mickey Mouse characters. Mickey is...
Shit.
Yeah, Bob Cratchit. Scrooge is Scrooge. Pete is Christmas Yet to Come. Jolly Giant is future or present, and Jiminy's past.
And Goofy is Molly.
Yep.
I just like the fact that Scrooge is actually Scrooge.
Yeah, and Donald is the nephew.
Yeah.
Makes
Appropriately
sense.
enough. Yep.
And
It's
also,
about-
I think this is one of the few times that we actually see Mickey and Minnie as a married couple in all of Disney canon.
Yeah. So it's one of the few times that you actually figure out that somebody dies in Disney canon.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Scrooge, it's now the new Scrooge McDuck for the new DuckTales.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that. I am rather excited. I can't wait to see how the actual cartoon comes out, though, because I'm still waiting to see what comes of it.
I'm holding my breath for it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm just holding my breath because I'm not sure what to make of it just yet. Anywho, anybody else want to throw in any other Christmas carols, or should we just throw it open back to Christmas movies and media?
Yeah, I think we covered it mostly.
Honestly,
actually,
last
there
week
is.
we did the Heartwarming Eve, like Christmas Carol parody. That's always a good one to watch.
Oh well, yeah, that one is a pretty good one too. Ponies and Christmas Carol. You can't go wrong there.
DM12 said the 1982 Carol.
Oh yeah, the class. I think that was the one that really started putting it out in media altogether, and I heard that the role was actually really well done. I can't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I haven't ever seen it though, so I can't really say for certain. But that's just what I heard.
I haven't either, but I might check it out.
Mm.
Literally, you could do an entire month full of a Christmas Carol themed movies.
I almost planned on doing that at one point.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Like a handful of them would be good.
I didn't, but I almost planned it. All right, well, I think that's enough of Christmas Carol there. Let's go into other Christmas movies. One I do want to throw out there. I know we mentioned Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I would like to mention Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Oh, that old thing. That is awesome.
Well, yeah, it's an old one, but I like it because it actually gives you the whole story of Santa as opposed to just he's a big old man with a beard and a coat, and he solves all your problems, and everybody wants him, and everybody wants to be him, and all that fun stuff. It's just like, okay, here's Mr. Claus. He's a kid. He's being raised by
Oh,
no, not an elf. No, he's initially raised by I forget his name, but it's just like his name backwards.
oh, you're talking about the one where it's the fairy
Meisterburger.
Oh no, that's the one where he's raised by elves.
Ah,
You're thinking of the other one that had the fairy folk.
maybe. But yeah, I'm talking about the weird claymation-ish one.
Yeah, that's the one with him being raised by elves and wanting to get toys, and the Burgermeister basically going, and I hate toys. Toys caused me trouble and broke my leg. So you were not looking where you were going. It broke my leg.
Yeah.
Toys are flawed.
But yeah, he ends up befriending Old Man Winter. He keeps making toys for the longest time, having elves, and it just kind of goes through the whole backstory of Santa, which is not really touched on a whole lot, which was nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but like many great superheroes, he has many different origins.
Mm-hmm. Of course, another one I want to throw out there just for the sake of silly. When I was younger, I don't know how we found this tape, but I found Ace Ventura Saves Christmas.
I'm
Uh,
getting an Inspector Gadget vibe from this. Also, do we have a list of who saved Christmas so many times?
I'd rather not have a list of that. I think that would go on forever. We could probably do a 3-hour show of Who Saved Christmas and still not cover them all. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'll put one foot in front of the other. That was a good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very good song.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of liked it though. I admit it was one of the first times I ever encountered the cartoons running the constant somebody saves Christmas gambit, so I wasn't sick of it to death. But I thought it was okay. Let's see. Any case, I don't think we should delve too much into the this person saves Christmas or that person saves Christmas, and I think Suki might have fallen asleep.
No,
Oh no!
I did. I'm getting close there. I'll admit.
But we're getting close to finishing up too, so we're going to start wrapping things up. Obviously, we're probably not going to do any videos or an episode this week, mostly because we only have about 30 minutes left, and I don't have anything cobbled together. Garfield Christmas! Oh yes, how could I have forgotten that one? Garfield Christmas. Oh, that one! I actually showed that on stream a year or two ago. I love that one. Garfield. Okay, let me go over this. Garfield Christmas. Garfield's family Garfield, John, and Odie go over to John's family's farm for Christmas, where they meet up with Grandma, Grandpa, and also great grandma or another grandma. I'm not. They don't exactly clarify that all too much, but I think it's just like John's grandma, which is basically like a great grandma kind of deal. Anyway, so you got Mom, Dad, Grandpa, Doc Boy, all together at the farm for Christmas. Of course, it shows the shenanigans of the entire family getting together for Christmas, including the annual reading of Binky the Clown Saves Christmas. So, along with that, you also have the dressing of the tree. You have Grandma rocking a piano. The grandma literally rocking a piano, which is freaking awesome and hilarious. And all of this done together, and there's even a heartwarming moment where Garfield finds a bunch of letters in a box in a shed that were all from the grandfather who unfortunately passed away some time ago. And it gives the grandma a wonderful memory of time gone by and the wonderful grandfather. But yes, it was a fun, silly Christmas movie, and it's like only 30 minutes long, and I really enjoy it. Elf! Elf! Oh, how could I have forgotten Elf?
Oh, the Will Ferrell movie.
The Will Ferrell movie. Okay, I have not seen Elf in full. I'm sorry, I have not. I've seen a lot of it, but...
It is actually quite fun and quite enjoyable. It's just you gotta deal with the Will Ferrell trying to be funny.
Call me Elf one more time!
See, here's the thing: is that in this movie, I feel like Will Ferrell is probably some of the most toned down that he's ever been.
I will
at least
agree,
in a comedy.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, stuff like him just chugging a Coke bottle and then belching, I was like, that's not funny.
Well, I mean, that's just something that's not, because really that's not intended for you. Remember, this movie is intended to be a family movie, so that's more of a moment for the kids in the audience.
A family picture.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Disney. You're deaf, but not saying deaf because you want to be a family picture.
Okay, but anyway, can somebody give us a brief synopsis about Elf?
Let's see. Basically, the baby goes into Santa's sack as delivering presents. Baby grows up to be Will Ferrell and thinks he himself is just a big old elf. Until he realizes I'm a human, and finds his father in New York, and shenanigans ensue.
Apparently he gets drunk in a mailroom. Okay.
Yeah, someone offers them whiskey, something to put in coffee. And
Alright, Cece, before you get on me, I ran out of the pictures of them in cute outfits, so I'm going through Equestria Daily and grabbing random Christmas images from the Draw Friend. So these are being posted on Equestria Daily. They should be randomly a little bit safe, but just for the sake of you complaining, there.
Okay, just look up MLP Christmas on DA. You'll find enough cute stuff.
Well, I'm just going through the latest art, and so we don't accidentally rehash some things and get some new artists that are still out there and working some coverage and stuff, Anyway, moving right along. Moving right along. Anyway, jeez, I had another one in my head now, and I completely forgot it. Okay, let's see. Does anybody know of any other Christmas specials that they want to throw out there? Recommend things like that.
I remember the Jack Frost Christmas special, or at least just special, that ran, and I can't fully recall it, but it's definitely another claymation one, and
Mm.
it's actually kind of nice. I think it was about how Jack Frost wanted to be a kid for a little bit, like an actual boy, until he had to say, "All right, I've had my fun. I have to be Jack Frost and do my job," type of thing.
Unfortunately, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Ooh, the year without Santa Claus. Have we talked about that?
We haven't talked about that yet, but yeah, that was a fun. That was a weird one with just Santa Claus gets
We didn't talk about it directly. We did bring it up though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think we could do a brief synopsis. As Santa Claus is put into jail in town. I can't remember why. His reindeer are also stuck in the town. Mrs. Claus finds out about this along with a couple of elves and some of the local children. They end up trying to get Santa out, and the best way they find is in order to prove that he's Santa, is by making it snow in Southtown. I believe its name is Southtown or something like that.
Southtown, USA.
Yes, which it never snows.
And then
So,
we get into two of the best Christmas themed,
yes,
not antagonists, but obstacles.
yeah,
Snow Miser. And
yes,
they have kick-ass songs.
yes. The Free Miser and Snow Meister, Free Miser and the Meisters.
Heat, yes, Heat and
Miser, yeah. The misers, the heat and the freeze end up not wanting to allow snow to happen in Southtown because one of them wants to have a nice spring day on the North Pole, and that gets unheard of. So yeah, they end up going to talking to Mother Nature. And this basically is just the shenanigans of them trying to prove to the mayor of Southtown that they have Santa Claus in prison and they need to let him go. More or less.
Oh, also they did a sequel to, at least with the Snow and Heat Miser, like a Miser Brothers Christmas. That was
That wasn't that sequel just like that wasn't that made more like maybe like a decade ago or more recently than that?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing about Christmas, folks. They'll cash in on nostalgia.
No matter what. But anyway, moving right along. Anybody else have any other Christmas specials that they want to throw out there? I think we'll just start wrapping things up here at this point. All right, chat room. If you have any, go ahead and throw them out there. I might have missed some, though. So if we haven't mentioned any, throw them in chat room now. I'm keeping an eye on chat room here real fast. Meanwhile, let's swap out the image here.
I wish every day could be Christmas.
Another one of the Fairly Odd Parents specials.
Yep.
That actually reminds me. There is one Christmas special that I did see. It's Mickey's Once Upon a Time. I actually watched it a lot. Yeah, it's Mickey's Once Upon a Time. It has 3 different Christmas stories. One of them is the classic with Mickey and Minnie, where Mickey sells his favorite instrument in order to buy a band for in order to buy a chain for Minnie's watch. Minnie sells her watch in order to buy a silver case for Mickey's harmonica that he just sold. So basically, they sold their most prized possession in order
to the match. I believe is what that is.
Yeah.
The old Henry story for it.
Yeah, of course. The story also has a bit of a side story of Pete that Mickey is working for in a Christmas tree lot, who is trying to obviously sell trees that aren't necessary, and ends up getting fired because he's an honest worker. Along with that, yep. So we get a little heartwarming story there of two lovers selling their prized possession in order to give a special gift to the one that they love. The next one, we also have Goofy and Max, who decide to go camp.
They decide to help another family out for the holidays.
Actually, I'm trying to remember if that's the case.
Yeah, it was because Max was in the age of I don't believe in Santa Claus. Santa Claus isn't real type of thing.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, and
Basically, Goofy's trying to get Max to believe in Santa Claus. He's ends up staying up all night, putting a bunch of lights on the house, to the point where even Goofy starts believing that Santa isn't real. But then Santa does come and gives him gifts and ends up throwing Pete in the snow, which was funny.
because Pete was giving Max's ideas of, yeah, it ain't real. He was never real. It's all just bull. Only for him to be proven wrong.
Yeah, and the one that sticks in my mind the most is the Donald Duck, who has his nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. They enjoy Christmas, and of course they're kids at Christmas, only wanting to play with their gifts, not really sing along with Christmas carols or hang around with family. They just want to have fun, eat food, and play with their Christmas toys. Of course, they wish for Christmas to be every day, and it happens. So for a while they are partying it up. Every day is Christmas. Every day they're having fun. They're eating food. They're able to rewrap and reopen their presents and have fun with them. Of course, they start to get bored of the daily routine, so they decide to liven things up and end up completely destroying Christmas for everyone. Of course, they start to feel guilty and realize that they missed the whole point of Christmas, and end up deciding to make it the best Christmas ever, which ends up breaking the curse, and they end up being able to finally be free and moving on to the day after Christmas. Of course, they made Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, but I have not seen that movie. Awesome Brony apparently swears by it. Another one that got thrown out there is Annabelle's Wish, which I unfortunately don't know too much about. I think it's a cow that wishes to be a reindeer or something like that. I could be wrong, but one that I can see there that I do know. The Rocco's Modern Life Christmas.
Oh boy,
that one was hilarious. The whole idea is they're trying to. It's not snowing. Well, it's not snowing in Christmas. Everybody just kind of lost the holiday spirit, except for Rocco, who's trying his best to keep the holiday spirit up. Of course, he ends up finding out about a new neighbor that ends up being Christmas elves that are trying to build the Christmas spirit, as well as building toys, as well as other things. Eventually, through happenstance, randomness, and weirdness, they end up holding a big house party, and the Christmas spirit fills the air, which causes it to snow and truly be a great, wonderful white Christmas. Only for it to end with everybody throwing their Christmas trees out the next day, and a robotic Santa shooting laser beams, ho-hoing as it's destroying everything in sight.
Are you sure that's not Futurama?
No, it was actually a robotic Santa. It actually had a really funny techno music, ho 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 ho, this kind of thing going on. It was supposed to just be saying ho 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 and waving, and instead it ended up shooting laser beams of death out of its eyes. It's just kind of funny silliness.
now I'm thinking of the Invader Zim Christmas.
That too.
It wasn't that the last Invader Zim cartoon they ever did. Oddly enough.
One of the last one.
Yeah.
No, I think it was the series finale, but they did continue on in the comics.
When has the comic come out yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was either Toon Boom or.
It was over a year. It was over a year ago. It was some time ago that they actually came out with the first issue comic, and I think it's still going at this point.
I heard that they were going to keep doing it, but I never saw a release date.
You should check it out. They probably are still going. All right. A lot of cartoon Christmases: Rugrats Christmas, Cat Dog Christmas, SpongeBob Christmas, Arnold Christmas, Winnie the Pooh Christmas. Wow. So yeah, check out your favorite cartoons. They probably have a Christmas special, or maybe not so favorite cartoons. Some of them may still have Christmas specials.
Peanuts Christmas.
Oh, Peanuts Christmas! How could I forget Peanuts Christmas? That is the one Christmas special everybody needs to see at least once. Yes, it's basically dripping in Christianity, but that's the way Schultz is.
It's
Was.
funny.
But it's
Come on.
funny. It's funny. It actually strikes down the spirit of Christmas, where it's not about the materialism. It's supposed to be about it's supposed to be about a time where a miracle has happened. At least in some cases, a miracle, or it's just not something that's supposed to be materialistic. But it's a classic, and it's one that everybody should see at one point if they haven't, and see it several times over after that. But I think we pretty much ground this into the ground here. Ground the ground. We've ground the ground.
Oh, I think we still got at least a few more beatings to give.
Yeah, but my throat is killing me here, and we pretty much filled up all our time. So the whole thing, we managed to talk about Christmas movies, the entire podcast. How crazy is that?
Second, this is something that's been going on for at least, I want to say, 80 years now. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
There's a lot, but it's still pretty amazing that we were able to pull it off. So I think it's about time to wrap things up. Let's get our final shout-outs out. Damn it. Sorry, I do apologize. I was not kidding. I was not kidding.
Almost made it.
Ernest Saves Christmas, also a good one. But yeah, I'm starting to lose my throat here, so it is time to end this. Let's get our final shout-outs in and call it a podcast. Real fast. Cece, are you going to be doing an oatmeal galore after party? Please let me know. But while we're getting that figured out real fast, final shout-outs. Toa.
Shouts out to everyone that has made something for this Christmas, for this special day of year. Shouts out to all the artists and all the musicians that worked hard on this thing. And shouts out to the fact that I hopefully will have the laptop by the end of the year.
We all hope for that right now. Alright, then let's move on to Creature.
Give a shout out to all my family and friends, and we're in this holiday season. Hope everyone stays safe, dry, warm, and in generally good spirits and good health. If anything is going on Saturday, I'll even be surprised myself. I have no idea what that day holds. But
Well,
yeah, I hope.
It's Christmas Eve, so don't be surprised if you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, if that is the case, I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas or whatever it is you celebrate, and have a great night.
And quick shout outs to CC. Happy Hanukkah.
Alright. Okay, Suki, are you still live?
Yes.
Okay, final shout out.
Okay, shout out to everybody who deserves it. All that good stuff. Anime is happening this Thursday. As far as Saturday, probably not. Other than that, I'm gonna go pass out now and hopefully not have a headache in the morning.
I feel you there, believe me. So, I'm going to go ahead and do our final shoutouts here. Good news is we do have an Oatmeal Galore after party with CC Zero Fire, so be sure to stay tuned for that if you're watching on live stream. Along with that, I would like to remind everybody that we are on the web, thebronyshow.net. We also have a YouTube and Vimeo for our archives. We also have social sites. Wow, my brain just exploded there. Yeah, Facebook, Steam, Twitter, all of them, The Brony Show. You can check them out at thebronyshow.net on the bottom right. We do have Blink Mind here. Blink, do you have a shout out?
Everybody have a safe holiday and a Merry Christmas.
All right.
And hopefully everything goes well. We'll be seeing them on Friday for another round.
Well,
I can fall asleep.
Tokoi is assuring.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Robot. We'll see.
No, come on. Everybody makes a mistake. But yeah, that does remind me. We along with the Omegalore After Party, we have Tuesdays, the Elements of Harmony. Wednesdays, Winchester Wednesdays. Nothing going on Thursdays at the moment. Friday, we...
With Suki.
well, animations through Masuki over on his channel, the Otaku Ascendant, of course. Fridays, we have the book RPG of Roan and our shenanigans there that we live stream for your amusement. Saturday, we also have Gaming Meltdown, except maybe not this Saturday, maybe this Saturday. It is Christmas Eve, so I can't promise anything. Sunday, there is normally Circuits Let's Play. Again, there is nothing going to be happening, at least normally. We may do something special for Christmas, but it is literally Christmas Day, so there will not be a Let's Play officially. At least under our normal thing. So keep an eye out on our Steam and our Twitter if you want to see if we still stream anything. I can't promise anything at the moment, sadly. I really wish I could. But along with that, Monday we will have a Brony show on Monday. Granted, it will probably be a little more shenanigan-y than usual. Not this shenanigan-y, but still shenanigan-y. The shenanigans are many. I believe that covers it. So let's go ahead and shout out our chatters. First off, thank you to CC0 Fire and Crazy Matt Captain for keeping an eye on chat, being awesome mods. Also, oh yes, a quick shout out, a really big shout out to our new host of pre-show, Cold Dust. He has decided to take the reins, and he actually started tonight as our pre-show. He actually had a pretty good run of it. It looked like he was talking about MLP Christmas-themed episodes or Christmas-ish episodes and the pros and cons of them. So it was a pretty fun one from what I could see. I unfortunately couldn't catch it all, but it looked fun, and you guys seem to have some fun with it, so I'm happy with that. But, okay, in any case, moving on to the chatters here. Army Dude Elite, Awesome Brony, Blue Clover, Cold Dust, Sarcasm, DDR Creature, Dimension, DM12, Emma Fan, Fantastic Fred, Horace, John the Brony Nerd, Elscam14, Sand4, Sappy, Sonic5421, Spock, Sub-Zero TD, Surreal Nightmares, Techman, Textalion, Trains Racer 219, Triskel, Suki is a thing, yo. Yay, Archivers! And yay, Forums! But yeah, just another quick shout out. We are very excited for Cold Dust to be taking the reins of the pre-show, and we are very excited to see what else he's going to do. And for our closing music, we have a parody of All I Really Want for Christmas. That was made back in 2014, but it's still fun even now. Of course, this is the pony version, so we're going to go ahead and play it. I hope you all enjoy it. And otherwise, I hope you all have a great night, and we will see you later.
Let's have a party off the chart. Tear the dance floor right apart. That's all I really want for Christmas this year. Spending a week with Wanderbolts, checking out all of the coats. That's all I really want for Christmas this year. That sounds exciting. What about you guys, huh? I would like some chocolate milk for when I go bucking. Come on, Big Mac, come sing the song with me. Angel Bunny laughs at me, but I would like to be a tree. Oh, and it reminds me 12 layers of cake. All these happy wishes and lots of Christmas cheer is all I really want this year. Santa sure got his work cut out for him. Oh, we ain't even getting started yet. I want to be the very best. Cupcake, sugar, chocolate nest. That's all I really want for Christmas this year. Really, Pinky? Eating apples green and red. Please, guys, stay out of my shed. Is all I really want for Christmas this year. I just want the perfect frock from some special pony. Chiffon, silk, and gold is in my mane. Doesn't it seem like too much stuff? No, Twilight, it's not enough. Elements of generosity approve. All these happy wishes and lots of Christmas cheer is all I really want this year. I'm just saying, it seems a bit excessive to me. Everypony. Oh, that's okay, Twilight. It's Christmas time. And Everypony knows that Christmas brings all kinds of new stuff for us all.
I just want a pile of rocks filling up my rock stocking. Older also really wants some rocks. Yeah. I want to blast off all that bass. I just want some thinking space. That's all I really want for Christmas this year.
I know. If there comes a cutie mark right up on my flank, I'll rub it a diamond tiara's face. Rainbow Dash will notice me. Just some time with Rarity. Maybe we could dress up Bobo. Yeah, let's go. All these happy wishes and lots of Christmas cheer is all I really want this year.
We want a Christmas cider fest. Got to make a profit on our best. That's all we really want for Christmas this year.
I want a day away from mail.
Oh, this seems okay, but hell,
That's all I really want for Christmas this year. Hey, Steam. I just want an episode where I'm not the filler.
Welcome to the Apple family. Wrong song.
I want a bramble apple pie.
I just want my normal life.
Quick to the TARDIS, Derby, Alonzi.
Wait, Doctor. All these happy wishes and lots of Christmas cheer. It's all I really want this year.
I could also use a lozenge. That's all I really want for Christmas this year.
Oh, I